All right, all right. We are going to get right back into it. And everybody, I want to introduce once again. I'm sorry, Lolo. I took too much damn time on this intro. I'm sorry. I took too much damn time. I got to do it. I got to do it. Everybody, welcome, welcome the Dragon Queen herself, Miss Ocean. Okay, now I feel better.
You feel better. Okay. You feel better. Okay.
I'm
We had
pretty
to
sure
get that in
everybody
there.
else feels better too, though. I mean, that bullshit. Are
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
serious?
man. Yeah. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? He can come up there. You know what I mean? Your man can come up there and talk about lynching, but if somebody mention his name, or I'm sorry, his ethnicity in a bad way, like now suddenly it's worth reporting. Tell me why.
I'm
You
running to the fridge. I'm running to the fridge. Hold it down.
What? Tell me why anybody should have you Negroes, and I'm calling you that for a reason. Okay, why anybody should have you Negroes anywhere in their community when they can as much as even say anything to you about yours, but you can say all sorts of shit to them and brawl. Hell no, no. Okay, unlike other people, I don't care what is said about you people. I don't care what the fuck you do. I don't care if you want to keep on reporting. I don't care. Period. You don't mean nothing to me. Seriously, you don't. And I'm addressing you because you came up here trying to play dirty politics in between two people that I know. And then you want to sit here and tell somebody they discriminate against you because they won't let you. That's why you getting this ass whooping. Okay, you can report all day. Now I know there's a few people in this chat, probably even watching, that feel bad for you because they feel like, oh my God, she's talking about people from Israel. I don't care. I don't. Okay. This is your last time, Vigoda. Like I told some of your other people before. This is your last time coming over here without nobody checking your ass. Okay. Now, I'm going to say this, right? Because I don't know exactly when the stream stopped per se, because we were having a discussion about who the fuck are you, Vigoda? Like, seriously, who are you? And why should we care about your little issue over there? Okay, like, why should we care given the historical value that your people have played on the African American experience, being slave owners yourselves and stuff, and then turning around exploiting our people? Why should care? Like, we were there. But what I want to do is talk about something slightly different before I get back into that, right? Because see, I'm gonna switch this around. When I was little, okay, my mother used to talk about, you know what I mean, the people of the Bible, the people of the book, them people, the small hats, right? Y'all, okay? She used to talk about y'all all the time. And she would always talk about,
Yeah,
how
yeah, yeah. Just say
great.
y'all. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Just say y'all. I like that. I like that.
you people, okay? She would talk about you people, right? And she would always talk about how great you people was. But however, she would be reading us Bible verses of y'all raping and pillaging and doing all sorts of crazy stuff, right? And my mother let us read the Bible like thoroughly. And I couldn't understand how could people be this ruthless, okay? Be this ruthless and then be God's chosen, God's favorite. What we talking about? What we talking about? So everywhere we would go, churches and all, if there was one of you people there, y'all got special treatment because everybody thought that y'all was the people from that book. Not to mention that book didn't really mention y'all in a good light, but you know how they preach to the niggas. They got special Bible for niggas. But nowadays you got motherfuckers like me. Don't need no book. Just going all the way in. That part. Okay. So this is what I grew up seeing of you people. I grew up seeing you people use people, manipulate your own story. I found out recently that in Germany, 8 million people died, so they said. About 3 were, y'all, you people, Vigoda, your people, so you feel, right? 3 was y'all. Who the other people that was killed? I'm sorry, deleted in Germany? Because it wasn't just y'all. But y'all never talk about those people. Y'all never talk about their plight. You never talk about, well, what they went through in the gas chambers. You never talk about that. You only talk about your own story. I noticed you never talk about how you guys participated in antebellum slavery, chattel slavery. Meanwhile, in your own book, it says that you cannot enslave one of your own. It says that. It says that you guys prayed for hundreds of years not to be treated with the same vitriol that you treated our people for. You prayed for that. So it looked like a little bit of karma to me at this point. But now karma is coming back around for you again. This is the 4th round of karma. Let's be clear about that. This is the 4th round. Now, here's the issue, right? Vigoda, like I began to say before people got the reporting being bitch, okay? Here's what I began to say. The reason my people even give a crap about anything coming out of your mouth as, one of them, okay? The only reason why we care is because some of us have a religion that mentions a certain people that you claim that you are affiliated with. That's the only reason why we care. We don't care other way. Otherwise, y'all can go fuck yourselves. Okay? You over there fighting. Listen, everybody got to fight. We in a fight. You need to fight back. That's as much as I care. Okay? Your plight over there is what it is. All right? Seriously. This is the only reason why my people care. Now,
no, but wait, Lola, real quick. Let me reiterate just in case, because I think we got cut off, just in case that part wasn't heard. So from the discussion in which we spoke over the phone, what I was being told from them is basically from the entertainment business, not to mention politics. So where they're from, right? Where they're from, in a lot of other countries, as we all know, they really do care about the politics of the country.
okay.
Here, we don't really care too much. So he's thinking because our government is so involved with what's going on the news and stuff, he's thinking what's on the news is what's in the everyday life of us, and he has no clue.
No. Let me backtrack that. Now, the reason why he said that Kanye is looking to be lynched, right, is because he's well aware that at some point our government actually sanctioned those lynchings. He knows that. So he is not aware that our people don't share the same sentiment as our quote unquote top officials in the government. He knows that. He's very much aware of that. So let's not give them no credit on that end. Like I get it. If it was somebody else, I would say sure. But because I know those people know.
Okay.
No. It's like they fully aware that Black Americans do not have the same plight and or viewpoint about this circumstance as white people. White people, like honestly, have not been through what we've been through, so they don't see the world through our eyes. What we went through creates a certain narrative that anybody that's been suffering can get behind. Because of our suffering, their suffering has a platform. But if it was not for us, there would be no train to ride in on anywhere. They know that. And this is why I say they use our plight for their purpose, i.e. why he come into the conversation about you and Sel to talk about what's going on in his country, because he's trying to get somebody to care about all the deletions that they doing over there that don't make no damn sense. Like seriously, like no sense at all. And they keep claiming we're being attacked. Meanwhile, my people still being attacked, and we don't have half the artillery. But you want us to care more about your people over there? You think we dumb? You think everybody dumb? That's like somebody coming to your house, you barely feeding your child crying, and they want you to care more about growing vineyards for their uncle in another country, of which you will never drink from.
So let me ask you this. I'm gonna name 3 names, all right? And I don't care about saying these 3 names because they're not us. All right. Thorpe's, Imperius, Vigodax. How do these people make it to our spaces, and why do you believe they are so comfortable doing what they do around us, knowing majority of us wouldn't even begin to think about going to their spaces and doing that?
The reason why they feel comfortable is because they feel, it's not even they feel, they see
Mhm.
that African American men see white men a certain way, period.
Okay.
And that way is through the dynamics of, male hierarchy, right? And when there's a shared sense of interest, i.e. dating, because notice the type of content that they come on, right? Dating, they feel that they have a certain commonality because everybody dates, everybody is in this dating game, right? So they come to platforms that only talk about dating, and that platform that they're coming to has a specific target for what they let's say what they go against, right? And that's black women. Now black women are an easy target because, one, black women are not in their community, so that's an easy target. Two, men have a certain authority over women, therefore that is an easier target. Three, there's a physical dynamic there that is like women are just an easier target. So when you got people like Nick Fuentes, Imperius, Vigoda, a bunch of them coming into these black male spaces that are already heightened, that have a heightened sense of anger over what they're going through within their community, right? When the white dude come in and say, yeah, I dated 6 black girls. Yeah, I dated the black girl. And yeah, this, that, and the third. And they kind of have some camaraderie between them. This is where the connection begins. Now, it don't end there, but this is how he get up on the platform in the first place. I remember the first time I seen Nick Fuentes, it was on Just Pearly Things. I had never knew who this dude was. He was not a part of my purview at all. However, he got back up there, and he was going all out over dating, like, and then he came into the racial situation, right? The conversation. So, but they were talking about relationships. Now, notice on every last one of them platforms, black women seem to be the target. Every single one. Just scroll through and look. Every single one. So I'm not surprised that that's the connection point. You see what I'm saying? I'm not surprised that that's the connection point. But see, what the problem is, truly, the problem is my people don't understand that when you give a snake an inch, right? Because you feel like they not there to bite you because they might have a taste for something else or somebody else. This is where you make your first mistake. This is where you make your first mistake. Every last one of those people you name, I have seen them give like backhanded insults to black men. I've seen it, but people it totally missed it. You see what I'm saying? Totally missed it. I remember when Vigoda would come onto the show. He would come onto the show and act like he's confused about black people, yet he's here to talk and be seriously listened to. You understand? I've seen people act like, well, I'm not a part of this, but I'm just here. Like, you have no stake in our plight, none whatsoever. But you're here to stir the pot, maybe, because there is a pot to be stirred, and there's money to be made off of stirring said pot. So nothing's happening that one would say, oh no, they're so out of pocket, that shouldn't have ever happened. No, it's easy to happen when people are out here looking to make money. Now, notice, back before the internet kicked off, back before YouTube was a thing, you never seen no Jews. I'm sorry, not Jews. You know who I'm talking about. You never seen any.
Oh, yes, yeah, them people.
You never seen
Yeah,
his.
them people.
You never seen his Spanish. You never seen, the polls. You never seen nobody come to no black, like what you call it, black empowerment, like conference. You ever seen that? You never seen those people. You know what I mean? Off Liberty Heights. Okay, let's just say that the Liberty Heights people. You know who I'm
Come
talking
on
about?
now, MLK, all of that. Yeah,
You,
Benning Road, you
yeah,
name it.
you name it.
Chesapeake.
All that. You
Come on,
never
25 Kitland,
You
Sioux Stop.
never would you
Never,
ever catch
never.
them in the
You won't
ghetto
see them out Langley Park at
doing
Delphi.
that.
That shit.
Never. You would never see them coming out of their communities to come into our community and quote unquote have a conversation about anything that is plaguing us. Never. You know why? Because there was no money in that. None. No money. The only money they make off our community is of the toxicity that they push in our community, whether that be narcotics, whether that be pornographic music, none of that. They only benefit off of the toxicity in our community, nothing else. So they're not going to come to anything other than these toxic conversations. They're never going to come to a conversation with the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. They're never going to do that. They're never going to come to a conversation with any legitimate black leader talking about black issues. They're never going to do that because that doesn't suit their interests. They can't sit and, feed off of your toxicity, right? Because there is none. There's no toxicity to feed off of.
So basically, this is my thing. This is what I really want to ask you. So folks like that, are they here because they can't make it in their spaces, like people like the Thorpes and Perrys, and the white spaces and the other spaces, those people? Is it do they come here because it's like, you know what? Maybe I'm really an outcast with my folks, so I'm going to come over here to where the blacks are because they accept everybody. I mean, they want to be everybody. So all I got to do is go over there, and I'm pretty sure I should have me already a foot in the door. What's your take on that?
You know what? When it comes to, them Liberty Heights small hat motherfuckers, okay, and Vigoda, I'm talking about you and yours, okay? When it comes to them, they're not outcasts from their people. That's one thing that that I can say about them. They're not outcasts from their people. However, they all serve essentially as ops for their people. So wherever they can find a space to push that narrative, that's the space they're gonna go into because it serves them at the end of the day. It serves them both individually and as a people to push their own narrative in the faces of other communities as the primary responsibility of everybody else to ensure. Instead of, let's say, all the other communities worrying about protecting themselves, if you can get other communities to feel like your community's protection is more important than their own, this is not about them being outcasted. This is about them being an op and having a reason for being in said space. That Vigoda isn't in our space because he's trying to help. Vigoda is in our space because he's trying to get something done for his people. Like he made it very clear to you. He's not here to talk about how you and Sel can get back together and be better as black men. He ain't talking about that. He's not giving you no tips.
He didn't mention anything about that. He just said that I saw that you had a problem. And then he said, I would like to know when will you be having your next show? And then I said, well, I'll be having my next show. So I basically was like, my next show as far as like my regular topics, not my next show about anything involving that, which is none of your business. Watch, right?
That's that subtle shit.
So then as soon as I say, I don't know, I'll have my next show, at some point, a few days or a day or so. He then all of a sudden out of the blue, this is when I blocked him. He just sends me all of this like his people, them over there, news clips and stuff. I'm like, all right, so do you watch my content now? Anybody who may be watching, anybody who's watching who hears my voice, whether right now or whether you get the replay, have you ever heard me talk politics for real?
No.
Do I do politics segments? Do I do like international over the world? Like shout out to CT, shout out to people like that, Anton as well. Do you see me doing news segments?
No.
not, I'm just saying, like, so that's what made my spidey senses go up and say, why are you here? I don't
But
even talk
see,
about
Smitty,
that. Like,
but
if
see,
you want to
Smitty,
get your voice out, and
right.
if you want to get something out, why wouldn't you go to platforms that predominantly speak about those issues?
Right. Why? So
Why
yeah,
are you
that's
here
the
with
question.
me?
That right there is the question. Why aren't you in spaces that specifically speak about small heads and anything that's related to the country that they're from and whatever issues they have politically, right? Why aren't you there? That's where you should be at, not on our channels where most of our people are only watching that have issues that we're talking about. No, but keep in mind the historical value of spreading propaganda in other communities unlike your own. We are the last community for them to infiltrate and then infiltrate in terms of manipulate. Now we don't have our own currency. We don't have none of that. However, there is something to be gained from manipulating our people from a position of power and finances. There is something to be gained from them for that. So this is what I'm saying. It's not hard to see them coming, but you got to understand when they come, they coming for
No,
something.
no, no. Lola, I don't know, Lola. You know something, Sister Shown. I've been thinking about that. Is it that it's not hard to see them coming, or is
No,
it that
it's not.
no? But then how do they infiltrate so much? Or matter of fact, how about this question? Before we get to our commercial break, after this, we're going to take a quick, 30-second commercial break. We get right back to it. Do you believe that when they enter our spaces, those names I named, which I don't need to say no more, it was said once, that's it. Um, do you believe that they infiltrated and played like they cool and then spew their afterwards, or do you believe that they came into these spaces with the headspace of, nah, these niggas ain't even about to test me on nothing because they disrespect each other so much? Who
The
cares if I
latter.
disrespect them?
The
Let's go
latter.
talk. Whoa,
The latter.
whoa, talk about that ladder. Talk about that
And the
ladder.
latter is this, right? My father always told me, he said, one thing you never do is let people talk about yours to you or in front of you. Because if somebody know that they can talk shit about your mom to you or in front of you to somebody else, they know what they can do to you. They know what your limits is. And a lot of times nobody respects somebody who sits and complains about their own. Nobody really respects that. You see what I'm saying? So when they see you going head to head, bumping with your own, they feel like, oh, y'all not worried. That how do you think slavery really got started? Black people in Africa bumping heads so much that they can't see that there's another group in here basically benefiting off of it, to the point they took so many people, according to them, that they couldn't even sell any more people. And then they started kidnapping, and then they started forcing. And it's like, yo, you can't see these people came in and capitalized off your war with your neighbor. They don't respect you. That's not what that's about. But they will come in and act like they like you, like they got something in common with you, like business, and flash their money around. And it's easy to sit and throw money at somebody who needs it and say, hey, go over here and do this. There's a lot of people going to do that. And so, yes, the respect that they don't see people having for each other allows them to come in and essentially, what they say, normalize it within the conversation. Because you can't come into no conversation that's like, bitch, this motherfucker, this, and then you come in and talk about some love and light. No, you got to come in and match their energy. So that's what they literally did. Came in and matched the energy. And you were like, well, how does it profit them to come in and do that? Notice when they come into the black community and they show other, let's say, men that, hey, I have the same plight as you. Never mind the question about what is the same plight, right? No, I got the same problems as you. Everything about us is the same. What happens? People run over to their channel and they get to clicking and get to sending super chats and get to sending all sorts of gifts and all sorts of stuff, right? And then their numbers continue to grow. Now, in Vigoda's case, he wasn't trying to grow no numbers because, like you said, or at least I believe, he don't have a channel. I don't think so. All he trying to do is grow propaganda for his country. That's about all he trying to do. He don't have no nothing for you to click on. That's not what it is. He's trying to use your influence to influence what he needs done on his end for his people. Now again,
But
I know.
why? Hold on, wait. They control the entertainment industry. Why would he come to such a? I'm saying it. Such a microscopic of when we talking about the totality of social media, places you can get your voice out
because they're
here,
because they're
like
they're
you
losing.
start here, like really. So
They're
that's when I say real quick. That's when I say to land it. I really do believe that he's an outcast. There's no way because if you had access to bigger places, you would be there.
he's
I
a
believe that you go to the bottom of the barrel because that's your last option. Lola,
you would have to go to the barrel bottom of the barrel for something. He's only going where he's going, as far as we're concerned, for his country, not for him. So he's not an outcast. He's working on behalf of them. And what I guess what I'm elucidating is that at the end of the day, right? Those people, okay, them small ass, them liberty hype niggas, they are losing. They're losing the political war. If you haven't noticed, a lot of people are not feeling that. Like you got, the more Candace Owens speaks about these people, okay, the worse it get, okay. And she not even a political figure, okay. She just got a lot of political pull for real, but she's not even a political figure. The more people start looking at, for instance, what is it? This dude, I forgot his name, on over there on the Daily Wire. They start saying stuff like,
Ben Shapiro, Ben Shapiro.
the more you got them defending themselves, talking about it doesn't matter who deleted President Kennedy. It doesn't matter. And it's like, why doesn't it matter who assassinated a sitting president?
Right.
Why, like, but however, every baby killed in your country matters. What are we doing here? You see what I'm saying? They at the end and beginning of every controversy, but they're losing the war. They have to defend themselves now because they're losing the popularity war. They're no longer looked at as, oh, God's people. They're not, because a lot of Christians, and this is not to, let's say, exclude Muslims, because I think Muslims are on the far outside fringes of this, but a lot of Christians, a lot of Christians are reading the New Testament again. A lot of Christians are looking at that New Testament and they saying, hold on, y'all, the New Testament is a bunch of like people from
no.
Right?
Well, okay, sheesh. Oh my gosh, you just opened up a rabbit
hole. It ain't according to them. According to them, it ain't me writing that shit. It's not the community writing that.
So let me help you. And I'm going to make this extremely short and simple and brief now, just to make people, for those who not hip. I was raised in the church, Good Shepherd United Methodist. All right. So I was raised in the church. What it is this, Lola. In the Christian faith, there are so many different versions of how they go about it. Okay. Baptists can't stand a Jehovah Witness. You know what I mean? It's Christian. It's that. No, listen to what I'm saying. Like the denominations of it, and with them having different books that's read. So, if you notice, have you ever heard Christians be like, when they quote something, they talking amongst each other, they'd be like, "So, what book you read?" And they mean in that, in the sense of like, is it, NIV? Is it King James? Is it Holy? Like, which one is it? So my point is that,
I've seen that.
So to land it, I'm just saying, I've noticed that because there is so many different thought processes of what it consists of, in a nutshell, that's really where all of the back and forth and everything comes from. There's no one set what it is. This is what the word says, and we all unanimously as Christians agree. You can go around the board. Watch this. I'm gonna shut up. Try it one day as an experiment. Find just 3 people who go to the exact same church. Give them one verse, one parable, and ask all of them, what does this mean? What's the definition of it? Like what is the Lord saying here in this? I guarantee you, all three of them going to the exact same church who read the exact same book are going to give you three different answers.
Well,
That's
that
an issue. That's an issue.
you know what?
That's an
You can say on the surface it's an issue. You can say that. But there's no two people of any particular religion that agree on everything out of their particular religious text. It's not. However, in the Bible, no matter what version you read, right? No
right.
matter what version you read, Matthew 21:30 through 44 say the same thing.
Yeah, but it's hard to go by that when we know that
Uh,
Matthew,
because it's
Luke,
correlated. No,
Matt, when we
it's
know that
correlated.
Matthew, Mark, and Luke,
No,
those
it's
stories are
correlated.
mixed up because they're not even in chronological order because
No, they don't.
Matthew
At this point, for
is
what
well after.
the point
It's
that I'm
weird.
making, the point that I'm making is not what order did the Gospels come in. My
Right.
point is the Gospels, all of them, the whole New
I know
Testament
what you're saying. No, I know what you're saying.
is
Any
saying.
and everything that's written of Holy Scripture, no matter which religion it came from the Torah, Psalms, Bible, Injil, all the way down to the Quran. I know what you're saying, and
No,
it's
no.
okay.
I'm specifically talking about the New Testament, not any other book. What I'm
Oh, you
saying
talking about
is
New Testament?
in the New Testament, specifically for Christians, because this problem does not persist amongst Muslims. Muslims are not out here wondering why should they care more about the Jewish cause or the
Nah,
or
not really at all. Not really at all.
they're not. I can't. You be
At
hard
all.
pressed. You be hard pressed to find. You just be hard pressed. So they're not a part of that at all. Okay. Now, other groups don't have no real side that they care about, right? The only group that care enough to sit and invite them in and then allow them to play games is Christians. And this is no indictment on Christians, but they're the only group because of like the situation. They're the only group. And it doesn't matter what you believe about the Old Testament or the New Testament rather, right? Like Romans, like Galatians, all these books that talk about who the real small hats really are, okay, and let you know that that covenant that they say that they're under is no longer on there. No one's under that, and now ever since Esau came, that was a new covenant, and it's not just about that anymore. And then you start reading real even deeper when you find out that the previous scriptures were not as they were in the time of Isa or Jesus or Yeshua, right? Now you're getting in some serious accusations, which I'm not going to put here, okay? But what I'm saying is people are using that story
Mhm.
against people. They're not using it to help people. They're using it against people because I believe that these people had a story in a book that I hold dear. Therefore, that's what this is about.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Lola. I'm gonna be honest with you, Lola. Before we, move to the next subject, because it's something I really want to talk to you about because you have so much knowledge on this as the love experience, right? So
Mhm.
we're gonna talk about a few things. I got some professional questions pulled up. So on this last piece right here. So my whole thing is I do believe that people, because you know what it is that I believe really comes down to the crust, the core belly of why people argue so much about religion is because so many of us are scared of crossing over. And somehow or another, along your way here, you don't ever want to hear another story about how you're supposed to make it there. And I do believe that because of that, and because of that combination of the fear times what
Mhm.
it is that you want to hold dear to yourself, a
Mhm.
lot of people may a lot of times truly reject anything outside of what it is that they believe will get them there. And you know something, I don't even hold that against them. I just don't, because I get it. It is a little nerve wracking thinking when your day will be. I get it. Because so I want you to recognize something. When it all comes down to the arguments of what we speak about,
Mm.
it really does come down to how do you get to the other side the right way? You know, like forget all of the parables, who did what, who really existed at this time, this and everything else. The crust of it is, how do I not burn? And a lot of people do genuinely fear that, myself included.
Well,
I've
part of
touched
the
the oven
problem,
before. It's not fun.
part,
I'm a chef. I know what it's like to have hot grease pop on your arm just for a second, let alone for eternity. So
well, okay,
it's not a fun thought.
so the problem with that is you saying how do we get there, right? The issue is most people of the Christian faith, honestly, are looking at a people, right? A story, and they're trying to reconcile that story with their own morality. And the problem is you cannot read the Bible, let alone the Old Testament, the i.e. Torah, and get morality from that. You can't. And this is why a lot of people are as Yeshua Isa said, the road to hell is white.
Yahshua, Yahshua,
It,
Yahshua.
it's whiter for people going to hell. Meanwhile, the majority of people on this planet are Christian, but most of them are going to hell, according to the Bible. Most people, and
Lola, hold on, wait. I have to do this. Everybody, for the record, me nor Miss Oshun has a place in hell for you.
now you're
She
wrong.
is only referencing what it is that is written. This is not my judgment. This is not her judgment. She is only referencing what it is that is written. Please continue. You know, unfortunately, we have to do that.
Yeah,
Rock
because
out.
there's people in the space that don't read, and I get it. It's hard to read, especially when you get off from work. Um, so but that's the issue. You're trying to extract morality from a book that is plagued with people as examples, with maybe the exception of a few in the New Testament that didn't have morality issues. You see what I'm saying? Like for instance, right? When you look at, how should I say it? It's so many examples. There's so many examples, right? When you look at the Old Testament, there's so many examples of women being killed. I mean, deleted, right? Like women specifically, like the command or the indirect situation, the conversation about taking quote unquote war booty at women, and the whole thing. You see what I'm saying? It's just full of that, right? But then you as a man, let's say you Christian, right, and you come to the Bible and you want to extrapolate how you should live your life.
Mhm.
You have to now disassociate yourself with the people, their actions, the reason for it, and then find somehow to think, oh, my lesson in this is, well, you should listen to God. Meanwhile, God ain't speaking in nobody's head in the way you imagine it, like how it's
Mhm.
written in the book. No, God don't show up like you schizophrenic. That's not how God show up. But that's how, that's the book that you using for your morality. You see how
Right.
that see, and then when people see how so many people can go to church or go anywhere, right, and still be just as immoral as if they didn't know religion, and people would say, "Why is it that the religion isn't working?" Right? Why?
Why?
It's because it's the fact that you're reading a book that's not religious. It's not a religious book. It's a book that has some laws in it, that got some stories about some people in it, right? But it's not a moral compass. That's not it. Because if you follow everything in that book when it comes to moral, like if you look at all of the characters in the Old Testament, for instance, and say,
Hmm.
let me model myself after all these characters. Did you know
Yes.
Abraham sold his wife? Just like it's like sold his wife sexually.
No.
Yeah, he did. And his
So
wife gave the Pharaoh a STD. And that's the only reason why the Pharaoh figured out, this your wife. This ain't your sister.
Timepiece Frosty, that's why you only get one chance to cross me.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna woosah. Okay, all right. We're gonna woosah real quick because Lola just as usual did too damn much, which is expected, and we love it. We love it. We absolutely love it, and we miss it. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and this commercial break is brought to you by We Are the Lamps. Respect to the family, and welcome to the Lighthouse.
These messages will be right back.
Okay, now, and we are back. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lola, for allowing us to woosah. All right. So, that's my main thing that I have focused on when it comes to this, you know. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, so the last part on what you said, I want you to go ahead and reiterate the last piece because I want, just to pick up. Go ahead.
Well, just to reiterate it, it's like you're reading a story in these books, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to identify, see yourself in these stories, right? Gain some kind of moral compass, because these stories mean nothing if there's no moral behind it. It just doesn't, right? This is where the whole concept comes from of the people of God, the ones that's chosen to
Right.
represent God, right? And then you say, well, what are these people chosen to do? Like, I see a bunch of heathenness every other chapter, right?
I get that, but Lola, so all right.
What are you supposed to gain from seeing that, other than let me not be like these people, like let me not be like this, right? Like that's the only way you can morally get some
I get
sort of
you.
something from that.
Absolutely. So this is what I've learned. Okay. So I've always given this example. I think I'll do a part 2 on the famous quotes of Smitty. um Watch this, okay? So when you were saying about what you said before we went to commercial break, what I've learned is this. What I've learned is that you have those who have the religion and spirituality, and you have those blind. Here we go. Ready? Analogy. I'm making short. You walk into a room, right? I want you to picture what I'm saying. You walk into a room. This room is completely blank. It's just a chair, like a love seat like chair. All white walls. And when you walk into this room, there's only one thing on that wall, and it's just a picture frame. There's no portrait inside of it. When you walk in and you look, now the whole experiment is what's wrong with this room. So when you walk in, 9 times out of 10, when you walk in, you look around, most people logically thinking are going to say, I saw a picture frame with no portrait. All right, now let's step back out the room. Let's walk back in. You come back in the exact same room. Now there is a portrait on the wall with no frame. And they say, what's wrong with this room? Most people are not going to say, I saw a picture without a frame, as in, i.e., the portrait is your spirituality. The frame is the religion. You have a lot of people who have the frame, but they don't have the portrait. And that's why they're so misguided. You can't have the frame without the portrait. You see?
well,
So I want you to think about it because you hold on to land it. You said it yourself. You said it yourself when we were speaking about it. And you was mentioning something about, I don't know, I don't remember how many lives ago it was. But you were mentioning something about you can have spirituality without religion. So to land it, have you ever seen a portrait without a frame? And have you ever looked at it crazy? No, that's the spirituality. Have you ever seen a portrait? I mean, have you ever seen just a frame on a wall? I mean, there are weird artist stuff that goes on every day, but in typical doctor's offices, you name it. Have you ever seen just a frame up on the wall with no portrait? As in a religion without the spirituality? No. Why? Because even us on a basic artistic physical level know that there is something missing.
well, let me tell you.
Everything that you say has a lot to do with those who have the frame but without the portrait. But you
Well,
can't have the portrait without the frame. I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out, sis.
so when I was about around 7 or 8, I realized when I was when my mother would teach me, the Bible, that that concept that you talked about, something was missing when I read the entire Bible, because I read it 3 times backwards and forwards. I felt like the only person who had a sense of spirituality was Jesus in the Bible for all intents and purposes. Okay,
Joshua,
like
Yahweh.
I felt like he was the only person that had a sense of balance. Like everybody else just seemed so rigid, the frame and nothing else. And it was so weird because I'm taught, at least from my culture, the picture, the portrait is the crux. You can have the portrait but that you gotta have that portrait first. As far as everybody else is concerned, they working from the frame, and maybe you might get the portrait. So this is what this is what I interpreted, that if you, back in the day, you had people that were following rules thinking, I can follow rules, but I can, I don't have to be a good person just as long as I follow the state sanctioned rules, and I'm good to go. And I was never raised like that. That just because you go to church every Sunday, just because you I don't know, I guess gouge your eye out if you look at a woman and you feel like she look good, that sort of stuff. Whatever, you don't steal, that you're still a good person. And that's all that you need to do. Stuff like that, right? That I wasn't raised to think that rigid. You see what I'm saying? I was raised to think more nuanced in terms of, for instance, intention matters, right? Which is something that is very it's talked about a lot in Islam, right? Intentions, your intentions in the thing is what you're being judged by.
That is the number one thing. The number one thing to anyone of Islam is your entire intentions of life. You're correct.
And your intentions is not something tangible that somebody can see, right? That's something that but because you know it, you will be judged for it. You see what I'm saying? So it's not about anybody else judging you. It's not. That's an internal spirituality sort of thing. Now, it's not to say it doesn't exist within the Christian community and so on, right? However, I couldn't extrapolate that reading the Old Testament.
We just simply guard our tongue. No, it's simple. We guard our tongues because we lack the information to speak full facts. So we're not just going to say anything.
I wasn't speaking at all. So what I'm saying is, as somebody who didn't have any bias towards anything, right? I was young, and I'm reading this for the first time, and I'm saying, okay, these people are not spiritual. And then I get to the New Testament, and I'm like, this is all spiritual right here. How is it that, and they don't really seem to jive with one another? But I realized that at some point in history, people were coming to grips with the fact that, as is said in the New Testament, you can't survive off bread alone. See what I'm saying? Like that level of connection and understanding into essentially the God within you, that does not come by way of rules sanctioned by the state. That's not what that is. But see, again, you got people that aren't that cultivated, and it might not be their fault, but they're not cultivated to see that there's a difference. And if you mistake them for the same thing, you gonna be jacked up for real. You will be jacked up. I'm just saying that, and this is no indictment. I'm just giving you my raw, uncut, just thoughts. I grew up Christian, but I couldn't connect because I wasn't reading anything that would help me connect. Everything that I read took me to a dark place. And then when I got to the New Testament, it was like an introduction, right? But still, it wasn't the full length of what I needed. Now, this is just my journey. So what I'm saying is that when you say, well, why is it that we argue over religion and stuff like that, and it seems like this is where the problem is, it's like, no, like, having different quote unquote frames is not a problem. It's really not a problem. It's the different pictures in between that's the problem, not the frames. The frames is the religion. The spirituality is really what gives or should give birth to the frames. But a lot of times the frames is attempting to give birth to the picture, and it never truly works that way. Never. So, I mean, if you want to judge a culture or what have you, or spirituality around the religion that's cloaked in it, that's a dangerous game. It just is. I don't now, granted, I think the argument over religion can be therapeutic at times because it keeps everybody sharp. It keeps everybody on their toes. However, I think the way we argue amongst ourselves, meaning black.
You're right about that. You're right about that. I spoke about spiritual sparring as far as staying sharp spiritually. Yeah. Just like, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like it's a help, or let's say it's a benefit. But the way we do it, maybe not so much that we do it, but the way we do it, it invites others to think that we're disrespecting each other and we hate each other and that we're against each other even. And to the point where now it's like, well, whose side are you on? And it's no side. I can literally sit and defend Christianity just like I can defend Buddhism, just like I can defend Shinto, just like I can just defend any religion specifically, because it's not the religion that has defense. It's the spirituality that connects them all. So I'm okay. I don't like. I don't have no hangups like that. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. No, exactly. You know it, fam. You know that.
Not at all.
So on this last part,
before you say something,
go ahead.
Part of the reason why the things that I address when it comes to people, the reason why I can address it the way that I can address it, right? And nothing phases me. Like I can sit and say, look, Abraham wasn't the man you knew he was, and I can still defend, let's say, the esoteric meaning of that story. See what I'm saying? Because Abraham don't need to be real for me to understand how, let's say, the goodness in the parable. I'm gonna use that word, the parable, what that truly is. So it's like, but if my identity specifically is in that individual a situation,
Lola, you are so speaking. Hold on, I'm gonna mute you just because your thing. You are so speaking facts. My favorite story in the Injil / Bible is definitely Ayub. Job. I went through a circumstance in life where, as those who love me would say, I was reborn, recreated. Cool beans. My point is, he went through so much, and I've gone through so much, and I never once said, God, why me? And even down to if I did kind of have those moments of true weakness, it didn't last long at all. So my point is, when you say that whether Job was real or not, everything that's said in that relates directly to my life. One who has gone through pain beyond pain, loss throughout loss, throughout loss, throughout loss, but you just refuse to forsake. You've refused to. You hold it. You're steadfast. You stay strong within it. And if anything, you give more. You were poured a cup of dirty mud. And what you did was you took that, you filtered it, and you were able to flood back an entire river of fresh water. And that is how I operate. And that's why the book of Job speaks so much to me. When I lost my leg, I never asked God, why me? I only asked, what can I do to still serve? I'm still in position. If I'm still here above ground, I'm in position. What else can I do? I never said, why me? I never said that. Just like Job, I took my loss of the cattle. I took my loss of land. I took my loss of life. I mean, health. I took all these losses, but I just kept sticking with it. And I've had many people say, you know what, if I was you, I'd have offed myself. And I just look at it and I say, well, you got a lot of work to do. I'll see you on the other side. Respect to you, inshallah. I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out, fam. We about to get to the next topic. I have a lot to say. Yeah, these are the things I don't express to people often. I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't express this often, you know? So
here's the thing. Your connection to that story is not to be challenged per se based on the facts of that individual, that individual, right? Or let's say the truism of the historicity of that character. That's not it. But see, you're not identified with the character. You feel me? You're identified with the reality that you can connect with, that you understand, that teaches you the lesson. That's what you connect with. But see, far too many people do not care about the lesson. They don't. They only care, is this a real person and am I related to them somehow? That's the only thing they care about. So
do you know I've had black people try to tell me they are bloodline directed to Yahshua, Yahweh himself.
What would be so great?
I have no clue. Lola.
I'm just asking, what would be so great about being related to Jesus?
I have no clue. But then again, I'm saying to myself, well, if you are, then that means that he is not of divine virginism. If I was to say, so you can't say that to me, because then you're really shutting down. So that means he got some baby mamas out here. And we all know that that is not the narrative. And no, we all know that that is not what is written. I won't even say narrative. That's not what's written. So if that's not what's written,
that's not what's written, right? But one can challenge what's written and what's not written. Like I'm gonna be honest with you.
Facts. No, facts. Yeah. Talk about it. You know it. You know you safe.
It's just certain things that you can challenge. It's not to say you're going to be right or you're going to be wrong, but you can legitimately challenge what's written and what's not written, right? Like I remember the first time I challenged the Bible, right, to my mother. It was when when I was reading the New Testament and they were talking about Jesus on the mountain, and they were talking about what happened on the mountain when he was up there by himself.
Oh yeah, when he went away to fast. Yes, just like Moses did. Yep, the burning bush and all that same thing. Yes.
And they were talking about the conversation between Jesus and Satan or the devil, whatever the case may be.
That is correct.
And whatnot.
I'll take you up on a high mountain and I'll drop you. The angels should catch you. And he said, you will not test me. Absolutely.
That's right there.
Absolutely.
So I was so captivated by the fact of who wrote that, right? Like who was there to record that. And how is it that Jesus never taught that? He never spoke of that. Nobody said Jesus said to us about that. Nobody's saying that. However, they're telling a story about that.
Lola, back in the day, I want you to take the correlation. Revelation back in the day is what we would call today epiphany. Go ahead.
I wouldn't call that shit nothing. I just mind my business.
I'm just letting you know. That's all. Yeah. You know, I just throw it out there. You do with it what you want.
Yeah,
you do with it what you
want. No, I don't deal in people's epiphanies. People's epiphanies is for their own personal gain. If you want to get rich off an epiphany, now we got words for that. So, that's different. So I'm not going to judge that per se. But that was the first time that I had, when I was young, I asked my mother, I said, how did anybody know what was said if nobody was there? And she really didn't have an answer. You see what I'm saying? And so this is where my journey began, where I stopped looking at books and texts and what people say as the absolute truth of God and started using what God gave me. You see what I'm saying? And so this is why, for instance, I think it's written in the Quran, not the Hadith, where it says, if you really want to understand, look in the earth. You see what I'm saying? Like, look for the
correction. Yes, you are on point. What it is, what is written. You remember when it was spoken? We spoke about how you can't get the full understanding through English. You have to. The full Arabic is, you will learn the most about me through my creations. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm so big on studying nature. You're right there. You're right there. Yeah. But how it's worded,
right?
You will learn the most about me through my creations. Rock out.
And that's essentially the parable, that look into what is physical. Like you can learn about me through the physical. So I listen, when I was younger, I had more than enough questions. However, I'll just say this. I just stopped being a slave to what people were telling me. Like, I just stopped being a slave to that. And I just told myself, you know what? If I'm wrong with the intentions of finding the truth. And I'm okay with that. Period. Wherever I find it, I'm okay with that. And if God doesn't want me to find the truth, and if God feels like my sincere seeking of it is a problem, then maybe that's not the God for me. Maybe there is no God, and I'm okay with that. And a lot of people know that I have no fear when it comes to that sort of thing. Now, I'm not saying there is no God. I am saying that I'm saying that my understanding is that I'm gonna look for truth, and wherever I find it, you see what I'm saying? Other than that, I'm not concerned about. I'm not concerned about what people say.
All right. God damn. All right, hold on. I gotta turn this up. No, it's an echo.
Oh, I hear you, echo.
Yeah. Give me a second. Hold on. Hello? All right, there we go. All right, so it's not about it's not about like if there is no God or anything. The fact is this: science has even recognized over time that there is a divine order and construction to all of this. Science even recognizes it. It's undeniable. This is nothing of this life. Lola, we being on this podcast right now, you meeting the love of your life, the whole nine, none of it is a coincidence. All of it was all orchestrated, constructed, and designed long before me and you was even a twinkle in our parents' eyes. Okay? Every single question you've ever had about life was already known that you were going to ask it. It was just waiting to see, will you ask it? You know, every single issue that you've gone through in life was already set up. We know the hurdles coming. We just going to see, are you going to get back up? Because we got you. But right here, we want to see if you're going to allow what the physical, what the three-dimensional realm that we have placed you in, because each of us, you included, Lolo, me included, we were wrapped in the bundles of like such silk wings, and we were transported one day. And we wound up in our mother's womb, and we had no clue of what was going to take place. And then one day we wound up here. And then, we have times we just get to looking at our hands like, what the heck? What is this? What is this? But at the same time, we get it. We get it. And when you study it long enough, you recognize, honestly, you do. You recognize this life is not about a religion. This life is about an accomplishment. Mm-hmm. What are you sent here to accomplish? AKA your purpose, your mission. If your mission and purpose is through possibly a religion, okay, go through your purpose. Your purpose may have nothing to do with the book, and you are still just as valuable. We just don't seem to want to recognize that.
I don't think we don't recognize that. I think that, we're just in a position where others don't want to recognize that about us. We recognize that we have purpose. We recognize that we have a unique place in creation. We recognize that. However, we've been denied that recognition or ability to recognize that within ourselves. And so now that we have found, let's say, the gumption to do that, it's like now we got to defend our quote unquote right to exist, if you can believe that.
Okay. So let's go ahead and switch it over. Let's now talk about love. Now let's start it off with this. You know what I've heard? God's love is unconditional. Before we even get into the professional questions that I have pulled up, I got some questions. I got 7 questions pulled up for the night before we get up out of here. Love. Do you believe that love, in your personal opinion, should be unconditional? No matter what that person does, you should still love them. You got the floor. Let's start there before I get to the questions.
Okay, so I'm not the authority to say what anyone should do when it comes to
Oh
love.
no, no! I gotta stop you, and I didn't mean to do it. No one said. See, this is no. I never used the word authority. I never said that you are. I said specifically in your opinion. So that means whatever you say is of your thoughts and your thoughts only, because your thoughts and your thoughts only are valuable. Do you believe what it is that I just asked?
Okay, so the definition of love is one of those things that it's very obscured from, the absoluteness of it all to us in this form. So if we don't really, if we can't, if we're still trying to understand it at this point in time, right? For us to say what we should do with it and stuff is we're making a lot of assumptions. To say, for instance, if somebody wrongs you, you should still love them, right? That assumes that you have a choice in the matter. Love isn't true if really you choose it for reasons you choose. Like, love is love because you don't control where you find it, where it happens, right? That's how we see it as authentic. Like, if I say I choose to love you today because it's sunny outside and you washed my car for me, so today I love you. Tomorrow, no, because you owe me $5 and I didn't like your attitude 2 weeks ago. So today, no, I don't love you. Like, we would start one questioning our sanity. So that's what I'm saying. To make certain statements is to make certain assumptions about our abilities and or the reality of love for us. So when it comes to unconditional, right? everything's conditional. Everything is conditional. Like for instance, me being on this podcast right now is conditional. Like there's thousands of processes right now happening that's making this
Exactly.
situation.
Facts, big facts. Yes.
Right. It's like for my children. I don't love my children because I don't got nobody else to love. I love my children because they're my children.
Hold on, Lolo. I just didn't want to interrupt you. I gotta give it to you. Rock out. You got it.
Saying, like if I loved every man the same way I love Vic, Vic wouldn't be able to say he's loved for real. But it's like that's my choice, right? No, that's not it. I don't choose.
Let me ask you this. This is. I'm so glad. Oh wow, I'm glad you said that. So this is where I wanted to ask. I just wanted to let you, you know what I'm saying, because this is your show. This is your show. You know what I'm saying? I'm just making sure I add in, I fill in. And at this point, if anybody would like to join, I'm gonna redrop the link. If you want to come up and add to this and get in on this conversation, I'm about to get into some real good, dope, deep questions as always. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop this link. I'm gonna redrop it. All right, let me do this real quick. Boom. Now that we passed the part in which she needed her space to get her issue off. Yeah. No, our issue off, because she spoke for us. Bump all of that. She spoke for me. She spoke for everybody out this. You know what I'm saying? And I love it. So when you and Vic met, and no, not met, when it clicked, not even forced, were you looking for him? Was he looking for you? Or did one day it just clicked? That's right. Smile about that. That's right. Smile about that, love, beloved. Smile about that shit, girl. Come on now.
So our story is a little unique. Neither one of us was looking to be in a relationship. We both had, in a sense, given up on relationships. And we were happy to just kind of be single. Like we both were like literally like we're good. Like we're good, you know? When we met, it was it was platonic. You know, we met online. It was platonic. You want to know where it clicked? I'm gonna be honest with you. He say, he seen me and he chose me and I didn't have a choice. That's what he said. And in many ways I didn't, right? In many ways.
Really?
But, yeah.
Really now? Talk about it.
It was like at first, like, you know, we were just friends and stuff like that. And then like I threw something at him. He didn't catch it right, but then he kind of came back and, you know, we were just friends. And then one day he just let me know, you know what? I don't want to be just your friend. And that's what we're doing right now. And, you know, I kind of was looking like
incoming. I'm sorry, it's white people, but shout out to the Black love. Shout out to all in the world. I swear, I love us. I love us always. Keep on going, sis. That's what I'm talking about. Before I get to the first question, I want you to finish this out. Before I get to the first question.
So here's the thing, right? I liked having him around, but I was so used to just being alone. It really didn't click to me that what I was establishing with him was a genuine bond when I found myself looking forward to hearing from him. And then when that day he just kind of cut across the conversation and was like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but you know, I'm really trying to see you. Like that. It clicked for me that, oh wow, I'm doing this thing that I said I didn't care about. Like
Wait, you think I didn't think of that? Of course I thought of that.
I mean, I guess I felt like that. I guess I did.
Okay now.
That's when it started to click. But I think over time, me and him grew to understand what us coming together actually meant for one another, because we both had issues that
two becoming one
kind of was pulling out of each other, right? So at times
right.
I felt like, what the hell? And at times he felt like, fuck her. But it's like we learned that we loved each other when we went through the trials together, right? That part. So
that's right. That's right, sis. That's right. That's right.
I can't say, well, there was a one moment where it all clicked, but I will say that over time, I came to an understanding, or let's say an epiphany about what this whole, experience with him has been. But yeah, like, that's my heart right there.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. And on that note right there, you already know, people. Snap. Lola, we got people in the building. And with that being said, you already know we got to give our peoples their proper introduction. Everybody give it up for the face that you know so well, the face that you see every single day, Mr. Best.
Wilson, what are you doing?
Hi, Hotem. I'm just testing my maracas.
Usually when I have mine tested, the doctor makes me turn my head and cough. Happy hour, Wilson?
All right, now there he is. There he is.
He always
My G, what's going on?
Yo,
And how are
man,
you?
shout out to the family, man. Salute to the family, man. Always love to the family. You already know.
Bow. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, salute to the family, man. Salute to the family, man. You know what I mean? Salute to the DMV family. Y'all know what it is, man.
All
DMV
day in the paint,
building, dog.
All day in the paint.
You already know.
Put the star in the middle. Put the star in the middle.
For real. She definitely is a star. She was talking about my brother, and I don't know, anytime she mentioned my brother, she know I'm gonna pull up right then and there. You know what I mean?
For a second, I thought she was talking about I was getting ready to say,
my brother, you know what I'm saying? Salute to the bro.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Watch this soap. 3, 2, 1. 3.
Oh my gosh. Why are you moving himself off? Oh my goodness.
It's StreamYard. That's what that is. It's StreamYard. I don't have
StreamYard just
what it do?
Damn, I get booed.
Yeah, man. You there, Smitty?
Yeah, I'm still here, man. I'm messing with you.
Okay.
And I had fun. Like, damn. Y'all really be thinking I'm supposed to. Listen, can I say it again? I got a dry, sarcastic sense of humor, okay? All right.
You do really do, for real.
I really do, bro. Like, I just be joking and like people really be thinking I'm serious, and I just be playing, bro.
But they don't understand your lingo though, bro. They don't understand your terminologies.
I mean, that's that DMV, you know what I'm saying? But guess what? They also don't understand Lolo. They also don't understand a lot of us out here. Like, we move different, bruh. We move different. Like, we not the same. That's all. It doesn't mean we're better. Doesn't mean that y'all are under or anything. No, it just means we're different. The DC, like Maryland, that whole, like, how we move, how we joke, how we, like, get along with you. A lot of people, like, first of all, a lot of people think that we disrespectful. Nah, you don't even get it. That's how we, like, listen, y'all don't understand. My homies will be walking up. And if you're not from here, like Soap, if you was chilling with me, say we at the park, I'm throwing the cookout, right? And some of my homies get to walking up. You gonna hear some of them probably be like, this bitch ass nigga. You might be like, hold on, wait a minute, what's going on? No, I'm not.
It's not even a fan because I told you I got.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Just hear me. I'm just throwing a scenario. I'm not saying literally what Soap would say. It's just a scenario.
Yeah.
Out here, literally, we would greet each other as homies and be like, this bitch ass nigga. Whole T, that's my man. Nah, he ain't really coming up off some like you don't like y'all don't be getting it. Like the way we joke, the way we like let you know that we rock with you, or yeah, that's it. Rock with you. Yeah, that shit gonna be thrown off to a lot of people. And I get that. That's why I don't get in my feelings about it. Well, I don't get in my feelings about none of this shit on the internet. But yeah, nah, I just sit back and I say,
God have mercy upon us.
so it's all good. It ain't nothing, man. But
I'm trying to figure out what he's saying in that clip, but whatever.
hey, you know what? Just laugh at it. See, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to understand lingo and where we come from here all the time. Just laugh at it and or just roll and rock with the punches. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? Just roll.
God, he said, God help us.
Nah, man,
Okay.
I don't know what he said. Listen, I know you did not just give him that, Lola. I know you did not.
Well, Lola speak about like 10 different languages, so
I know you did not just give him that, Lola. Anyway, can we get to the first question? So now we're going to talk about sustaining love. And I love that, Sister Oshun gave us a great segue. I want to talk about, I want to talk about sustaining love. So what we're going to do, guess what? Fellas, free before 11. That's right. I was going to say free before 10, but it's 10:22. So that would be a lie. Okay. Fellas, free before 11. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get to it. I'm about to pull these questions up. And I want to ask these questions. All right. So let's go ahead and go to the first one. Let's go to the first question. All right. So what is question number one is this. Okay. When it comes to sustaining love. So, and then of course, Miss Oshun, what are daily habits that help keep love strong over the long term? Rock out. I'll repeat it if you need to, sis. I got you. One more again for the win. What are daily habits that keep love strong over long term?
You want Best to go first?
Yeah, I said gentlemen's first. Yeah, I said that fellas are free before 11. So get in the club before
back chat.
Nigga, I don't need no back check. I know you eating cereal. Go ahead, Lola.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lola.
So,
go ahead, Lola.
Okay, here's the thing, right? Everybody's looking for a magic bullet to how to solve this problem, right? Of being loved or finding love or giving love, right? And there's no real magic bullet. But what I'll say is that in my experience, okay, and I always take it back to that. In my experience, the best habit that I have to sustaining something good, I'm not going to say love, but I'm going to say sustaining something good, at least within relationships, is not to put expectations on people that are unrealistic, that don't belong on them even. For instance, keeping in mind that the other person, right, is a whole person and not everything that they do is about you, right? And to not take everything that goes against what you might like so serious, that's helped me. You see what I'm saying? And I guess that's not a habit. That's just something you can realize or understand. That's not a habit per se. But if you do things from that perspective, at least in my experience, I think that it helps sustain things. Because, for instance, right, if somebody does something that hurt you, and you understand that that person doesn't belong to you, and everything has a beginning and an end, right? You don't have expectations of forever on anything. Like, you don't have expectations that somebody won't falter. You hope that they don't, but if they do, you understand that their mistakes don't have nothing to do with you for real. It don't. Even if it's directly related to you in some sense, right? If somebody say, well, the reason why I cheated and lied is because you never did such and such for me. At the end of the day, they have an issue. And not everybody who get cheated on and lied to go and do anything. Like, I've been cheated on. I've never felt the need to go and retaliate with no crazy stuff. Like, I just never did. So this is to say I don't have the same issue that somebody else might have from the same problem. I don't have the same reaction. That don't have nothing to do with the other person. That has everything to do with me. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I get frustrated. You see what I'm saying? Like, I find a lot of reasons to be frustrated, but I understand that person doesn't belong to me. And no, I don't control them. And as much as I don't want to be controlled, I can't really control them. And keeping that in mind is very hard when you are a human that essentially operates from a position of control, typically in your life every day. Like, you control most things that you come in contact with. You control it. As a parent, right, you operate from a position of authority and power. But then when you get into a relationship, there is no authority or power. You can't. I heard some people talking earlier today about how do you punish bad behavior of a partner. There is no punishment. Either you work it out and this is the person for you, or you don't. And this isn't the person for you and you keep moving on. There is no punishment because you're not in an authority. You're not in authority over that person. They're not in authority over you. Like, you don't have power over them unless you're going to seize power. And now we ain't even talking about a relationship. So no, that's what I'm saying. That sustaining what we understand as love has to be from the inside out. That, that picture, not the frame, but that's just what works for me in terms of what my approach is.
All right. Soap is not here, so to reiterate on the first question, I'm going to answer myself as well. I just want to reread it. Okay, so what are daily habits that help keep love over the long term strong? All right, so my answer is very simple, and I've said this before. Do the same thing from day one, and everything should be just fine. What does that mean? It means that if I started off like real deal, just like showing you are the world to me, after we have intimacy, that should not go down. Once I've come over your place a few times, you come over my place a few times, we done kicked it and chill it, for a little bit, it should not go down. Keep doing the exact same thing that you done from day one. Whatever it was that had you all so on butterfly in the stomach mode, right? Whatever had you on that pink cloud, continue to do that and then allow that to grow. Think of new ideas as far as just, I know you're into this. She knows I'm into that. The most important thing is paying attention to who you are with. You know what I notice is the biggest issue, Lolo. So if you're there, is that a lot of people get into relationships nowadays and it's all about how much can you benefit me? I go into relationships of servitude. And so I'm going to say this, it's a difficult dynamic in this day and age when majority of the time parties don't have it in their headspace to have, I want to learn you as much as you're learning me. Now, it's just a real thing.
But Smitty, that's because they dealing with you for the lifestyle of you. Like, do you ever heard somebody say, "I'm in love with the idea of you, not you"?
No, because I don't deal with ingenuous people. But please enlighten me to the fakety fake that is out here. Tell me
Okay,
about fakety fake. Yeah, I want to hear about the fakety fake.
so the fakety fake are people that they want something specific, right? But the only mode or means of travel to get that is through a relationship. So therefore, they take the route of a relationship to get there. This is what society created when they created um the patriarchal system of bride price. You see what I'm saying? It's like, for a long time, relationships was predicated on how much you could buy the other person for, how much that person added to your wealth, right? That was the history of humanity just a couple years ago. We just woke up from that bullshit. Just woke up like 5 minutes ago. We just woke up. We still got cold in our eyes. Matter of fact, that's just how recent that is. And so, I mean, when people are trying to get to a different point through a relationship or through a marriage, that's going to create a different dynamic, a fakety fake dynamic. Now, but the reason why it's fakety fake is because they're not being honest, because there's a new dynamic going on within society that says if you get married, you should be getting married because you love, not because you want to move up in status. To say I got married because I just need to move up in status in 2025 is appalling. But if you would have said that in the year 342 BC, I'm sorry, AD, that's perfectly fine. Why else would you be wanting to get married if not for... I'm just saying, like, why else? But see, that's because the culture changed. But here's the truth of the matter. What is the morale there? Is it wrong to want to get into an institution for the purpose of what that institution can do for you? Or is it righter, let's say, for you to get into a marriage, or let's say a relationship, for the connection you receive in say relationship? Both sides have their pluses and minuses, but it's like in present day society, we've gotten away from bride price, and we've gotten more so into, well, what is it that this person offers you on a more nuanced level? So, but let's be clear about something, that culture has not disappeared. Like, we still have cultures today that do marriage and do, what's the dowries and stuff like that, where families are paying for wives for their sons, from certain groups to make sure that they got certain grandkids. Like, it really do go down like that. So we still are in the struggle when it comes to the problem that we majorly have woken up from. We still struggling. Yeah.
So let's go ahead and let's get to question number 2. You know,
May I get in there, family, or are we just on to question number 2?
I mean, as long as you back, I don't mind. I mean, absolutely.
And Melissa, come up here, girl. Come up here.
I mean,
Okay,
really,
okay.
you already know.
It's
the lighthouse. Hold on, what is somebody in my back?
Now she on the phone call.
No. Listen, got that. Just please. I'm in Zen. I'm chilling.
Okay.
I'm chilling. Lolo chilling. You chilling. Let's keep this on a nice trajectory. I'm gonna stay cool and chill, bro. All right. Say what you have to say. Whenever sis is ready, the link is there. When she pops up, I'll see her in the back. I'm gonna pull her smooth up. Rock out. What you got?
Smitty high right now, but it's all good.
I gotta say this. No. So I love you. This is not out of nothing. Just wait for it. Nah, real deal. I got different modes. Nah, everything ain't about a J. It's not. No, sometimes. No. It's not the case. Okay. I love you. Nah, real shit, my G. No, I'm not going to expand upon it too much, but I'm multi-layered. See, I'm not
I know I know that more than anybody.
Yeah, bro. I'm not automatic card, bro. I'm like stick. So it's different gears. I shift in different gears. Sometimes I might be a little hype. Sometimes I'm this. No, but each gear of me is an authentic gear, and trust me, the transmission won't slip. It's reliable. Respect to you. Rock
I
out.
think it's gonna put me in the bag. It's all good. What was the initial question?
No, I didn't. Shut up. I never did that a day in my life.
I don't know what the hell y'all talking about.
Hey,
you know,
for the viewing audience,
my
we do this
nigga,
shit all the time,
my
bro.
nigga. Hey, listen. I had to shift gears. Yes, I'm chilling, cooling, but at the same time, I love my people, man. Man, Soapy, my man, from the you know what I'm saying from the beginning. Listen, I met Oshun on Black Files, and somehow or another Simon popped up when it was me, Soap, and her, and this nigga said, "Have you ever put a microwave dish in a oven?" All right, so boom. From that moment on, I realized that I was in a world that was my own, and I loved it ever since. I loved it ever since, and I appreciate you all. Thank you so. Thank you so. Do you have anything to say to the question in which it is we're speaking about, so I can get to question number 2, sir? I want to keep the show going. I want to keep the show going because this is Miss O'Shoon's show. All right. Subsequently, it's her show.
I'm listening.
All right, all right, so back. I'm going to repeat the question. All right, so we're going to go to question number 2 because I'm not going that far back. So let me go to question number 2. All right.
Okay.
All right, back. Question number 2. Here we go. How important is communication? And what does communication actually look like in a relationship? Yes, sir.
Oh, I always say communication is key. I always say that in every retrospect. And the reason I say that is because when you communicate your needs and your wants in a relationship, you're able to figure out whether something is aligned with you or not. And that's the biggest thing. So you need to find out what's aligned with you and what's not aligned with you. And once you find that out, you're good to go. So I think it's something when men and women get together, sometimes we like, oh man, she didn't understand what I was saying. No, you have to because you have to explain your thoughts and how you feel and things of that nature. And it got to be followed up with action. So it just can't be just you saying whatever and just thinking that the woman knows. No. You know what I mean? For instance, I'll give an example. You know what I mean? If you want to spend time with a woman, right, on an intimate level, you invite her over to the crib. Yes, you must still communicate of what you want when she comes over the crib. Should she know? Yeah, she should. But if you're not communicating it, it's not going to happen the way you want it to happen, right? Vice versa. If a woman wants to go to a certain restaurant, don't just think that you tell the guy you want to go to a restaurant, he's going to take you to like, Ruth Chris or something like that. Like that may not happen. You might wind up in Applebee's, Mom. All right? You know what I mean? Let him know where you want to go.
So what is wrong with Outback and Applebee's, sir?
Nothing. But some women don't want to go there.
That's no. That was the answer. The answer is it is something wrong with it if that is what you're trying to hit on, and if that is what you want to land. Don't take that woman somewhere that you think is going to be sufficient. Love is to be customized. If you're trying to get to learn that woman, if you know that certain places are not in her taste, okay. Now, does that mean break your bank? No, that means adjust and try your best to shift within your budget. I digress. My mic is muted. Now, I already know. I can see it on her face. Ooh, Lola wants to get in there. Let me go ahead and lower some of this so y'all can see exactly how she's fuming. Yeah, that's right. See that? See that? She's fuming. All right. Get them rosy cheeks unread. We're gonna let you get in there.
Let me land my plane real quick.
If she want to say something, I know she want to say something to that.
She's gonna say a lot of things that she always does, and not only that, Lola got about 5 shows and about 3-4 different channels. And
man, what? Hey, everybody!
She got a show on my channel.
Go to IG. Channel. Make sure that you support.
Yeah, make sure you support her, man. She
got
about like 3-4 different channels.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
That's what Lola does, man.
Make sure that you go subscribe. Real quick. Let's take a quick. Yeah. Word from the sponsor, man. Word from the sponsor. Go subscribe to the Love Experience. That's right there on IG. All right, that's all. Just type in Love Experience. Okay. All right. Make sure, Lola. I don't know the name exactly, but maybe you can put it into the chat.
I know every single one of her channels.
Whichever one you want, and no, whichever one she wants in there.
Talking about is Miss Ocean Possible.
Miss Ocean, there we go. Miss Ocean Possible. Thank you. Make sure you go subscribe to Miss Ocean Possible. Okay, type that in at Miss Ocean Possible. Subscribe, support our own, because we're all we got. If we don't do it, nobody else will. You may not like us, but I love us.
I mean, I do have, you know.
I gotta mess with her real quick before she goes in. All right, make sure y'all subscribe to Game of Dragons.
I'm running to wait. So I'm running to the restroom. So yeah, so lead it for me real quick, bro. I'm running to the restroom.
I got you.
Thank you.
Like, subscribe to Game of Dragons, y'all. Average at Best. What's the other one? I know all these shits too. Vic and Lola. All the channels. You know what I mean? Subscribe to every single last one of them. All right, I'm subscribed to all of them. You know what I mean? Y'all might as well too.
I think you
know what I mean? Intellectual Soapbox. You know what I mean? Black Files be on the Intellectual Soapbox. Smitty's Corner. Subscribe everywhere. Raw B, she's everywhere. So, you know what I mean? If you want to see Lola, she has about like 3-4 different spaces and places. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Knowledge and Relationships. I forget what your show's called. Knowledge and Relationships. What is it called? The Chronicles of Lola. There you go. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, go ahead and do your thing, sis. Go ahead and shoot.
I have a couple of them. Yeah, I can tell that I've aged too since when I watched some of those videos. I can tell I've aged a bit, but I can just tell. But I think for my Instagram page that you on the Real Serious B, that's a private page. That's only for people that I know in person, like that I know. It's not for like random people that just want to be on my page. So yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even tell them to join that one because I know that one's private. But go ahead.
Yeah, that one's private. But to your question that was asked, I guess I would be next to answer that. I know people say communication is key, right? But I mean, I feel like we oversaturate love conversations with communication being key, right? I'm gonna venture to say communication isn't key. I'm gonna venture to say everything that you think and feel shouldn't be communicated. Period. Most of the shit that you thinking, you shouldn't communicate. If you in a conversation with somebody and you trying to work some shit out, most of the shit that you thinking and the way you thinking, it shouldn't be communicated. If you feel like interrupting, you shouldn't communicate at all. If you don't like what's being said, you probably shouldn't communicate. Like, I'm just gonna say, communication is good to just say as a baseline. You should let someone know what's going on. However, children know how to do that. Let them start feeling hungry or being bored or needing some shit. They know how to communicate. You don't need to teach children how to communicate. When they feeling like they're not in their right state of mind, they know how to communicate with you that, hey, I got some shit going on. They know how. So for adults to need to be told over and over again, oh, you need to communicate, you need to communicate, you need to communicate, you need to communicate. It's like, yo, what are we doing here? No, shut the fuck up.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is.
You're right. It's fact.
I'm just saying. Like, some of us know how to communicate, but when you know how to communicate, you learn there's a lot that you probably are not going to communicate in being communicative. Like, I'll say in my relationship now, I'm learning more so how to not communicate every single feeling, every single infraction, every single thing that I want to say, every single time I want to pick the phone up and just sit on it. It's a lot that I have to not do. You see what I'm saying?
Lola, everything you just said, believe it or not, is even myself, not not every last one of those. I would say a good 2 out of the 5 that you named. That shit hit home. And I just have to be honest. That like urge to just, you have to say something right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. You know, if I was being, I understand. Like you hitting on something. You hitting on something. That's all I wanted to say. So just real quick, let me go ahead and give it to you real quick. Let me go ahead and give it to you.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is.
You're right. It's fact.
I ain't got shit to say.
I'm just being honest. Like, I get what Best is saying, and what he's saying is for the mature. But as we know, most human beings, adults, are not mature. So we have to talk about mostly the immature motherfuckers. We don't have to really talk about the people that got their shit together. No, we're talking to the people that don't got their shit together. Like, this is why on my channel, I try to speak in as much plain language as I can. I try to make my videos short as fuck, because I know people got short attention spans, but they want long progress. Like, that part, okay? So when I tell people, hey, what's the most important thing? Shutting the fuck up. Not communicating. That's the most important thing.
No, Lolo. Is it Lolo? Is it no, Lolo? Is it shutting up, or is it taking time to listen to one another? Like, is it? Oh shit! Let me shut up then. Okay, I'm going to shut the fuck up then. Fine,
you said nobody does that.
Got it.
Nobody is going to sit and just be quiet, right? And just listen and learn and all of that. Most people ain't interested.
Then nobody wants real love. Because real love takes time to shut up and listen and learn.
But they don't. I'm telling you real talk. They don't want real love. Most people just want what they want. Real love that requires sacrifice. Ain't nobody trying to sacrifice anything, let alone their emotions, let alone the thing that they hold most dear to them, which is their pride and their identity. Nobody want to sacrifice that for anything else, for the greater good. That's not what's going on. So that's why I wouldn't tell nobody that. Well, I wouldn't tell most people communication is the most important. I would say, listen, you learning how to not say shit that you feel like saying a lot of times, it might be work better, because in today's society, right, people just talk off the fly and say more shit that they shouldn't say than shit that they should say. Like, not at all. So if you can learn to control yourself, then you can get to a point where we can say, now it's time for you to communicate in a correct way, like based on what should be communicated, right? Because right now it's like you trying to teach a bear how to have manners when you haven't even taught the bear how to exist in a space where he's expected to act differently than how he is in the wild. You jump.
Could you please stop making so much sense, please? Could you make at least a little bit less sense? Could you not be so logical as a woman? Like, I mean, really, you're sounding too damn logical right now. You're making too much damn sense, and I'm going to take you right now. You're triggering the people. They don't like it. So, matter of fact, hold on. Let me hit the disclaimer. Everybody, I just want you to know this while Lola's talking. While Lola's talking, keep this in mind. I don't even want to be here. I'm dropping off the panel. I love us. I'm still right.
I don't why that's so hard to believe. Like I agree with him that communication is very important. However, I know who I'm talking to and who I'm dealing with. I know that my people are coming from a different history where we were not allowed to communicate and we have a lot of suppressed anger. So no, I'm not about to sit and say, well, just spout off and just make sure people know the truth. No, don't nobody give a fuck about your truth. You need to learn how to have decorum first. Learn when to fucking speak first. Don't. I don't need to hear what you got to say. We are working from the bottom right now. Be the fuck quiet. Learn that shit. Perfect that shit.
Can we get to question number 3?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get it. I got 7. Oh yeah, we ain't done. I just like to let my peoples get it in. Let's get to the next question. All right, so hold on one second. Where is it at? Go ahead.
Hold on, Smitty. Wait. I got a quick rebuttal for her. Quick, just not even a rebuttal. But
God dang. You all right. You always want to pop in like a day later. Like, bruh, I be waiting for like you see Lola, like, bruh, hop in on time. Pop in.
I was letting her land. But
no, I need you to have your white energy right now. That's right. Show up to work on time. And I'm gonna mess with you like that, bro.
I know you are. So no, I'm not. I'm not saying what she's saying is wrong.
God dang it,
right?
Jam.
But part of a lot of communication is nonverbal, right? So you do have to have nonverbal communication. So what she's saying is actually true. And sometimes you do got to be quiet. Even me as a man, there's times when I got to be quiet, right? Or there's times when my woman say something, or she like, "Hey, this ain't happening today. It's not gonna happen today." It don't matter what I feel. It's just is what it is. You know what I mean? My feelings go out the window. You know what I mean? And I just gotta, roll with the punches. There's times when I'm like, nah, that's not gonna. I could say it's not gonna happen today, and it ain't gonna happen. And she gotta roll with the punches. It's a give and take. So yes, what you're saying is correct. But yeah, it's still communicating, but in different ways. You know what I mean? But eventually, you may not be able to say everything you need to say in that moment, right? It may have to wait. You know what I mean? And that person, you may have to wait to say, or you may have to gather your thoughts, and vice versa, right? Or sometimes a person could look at you and they're communicating a whole bunch of things, and you ain't gotta say nothing. Or sometimes they're not looking at you and they saying a whole bunch of things, and you ain't gotta say nothing. You know what I mean? But just take it in.
Well, okay.
So, yeah, you're right, Lola.
So to give you a prime example, right? There was this lady who she okay, I'll give you another example. There was this lady who she was on TikTok talking about basically when she was contemplating divorcing her husband. And she was saying basically he was a great guy. He looked good on paper. He treated her right. He was just a shining armor of a person. And then I'm like, so why did you want to, divorce him? And she started talking about how her daily chores around the house while he's at work is getting too much for her. And he forgot to take out the trash. And she doesn't like having to remind him to take out the trash. So she thought that for a while, she thought that it would be best if she was a single mother who had to go to work and do everything. And mind you, she's a stay-at-home wife, not a stay-at-home mom. Her children go to daycare while she sit around the house. And so she figuring, I'm going to divorce him and I'm going to have more time to sit and do all the shit that I told him to do. Like that dumb shit, right? Now, truth be told, if she felt like I want to divorce my husband, even though he's a good man, right? Here's the thing. This is the moment where you tell yourself, shut the fuck up. Don't put that out in the ether. Don't influence other people to sit and start contemplating leaving somebody who they have that's actually viable and good. Don't do that to nobody else. This is the moment where you need to learn how to not communicate. If your husband's so great and you just can't do your chores, this is the moment you need to shut the fuck up and put your big girl panties on. Like, not say shit. Don't nobody care. You got married, had them kids, and wanted to stay home. You wanted to stay home. And now you home. So shut the fuck up. Don't nobody care. You don't need to communicate that you don't like it. If you don't like it, make something shake. Again, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear that. Your husband don't need to hear that. Oh, I'm tired. I don't want to be home. My choice. I'm just. He don't need to hear that shit. He don't need to hear you communicate that shit. Even if you told him everything that's wrong with your chores at home, that don't change the fact that you gotta do them. It really don't. So you might need to
Lola,
learn.
you're not wrong, but you gotta understand we live in a social media age, right? So the social media age, a lot of people jump out the window, right? I have a friend that does this all the time, right? You known him, you've seen him before, and you even told me yourself that he need to go sit his ass down somewhere. But with that,
couple I told you like that, so I don't know who you're talking about. I told you a couple.
no, but this person is this you. If I say a few words, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. You know he has this woman, he got his child or whatever, and sometimes he could complain sometimes, right?
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. I think I
Yeah,
know.
so and I've talked to him on the back end like, yo, you got to stop doing that. So and he knows this, so he knows out of love. But here's the thing, right? At the end of the day, a lot of people, right? They don't have the either they don't have the tutelage or they haven't been taught this, right, Lola? Or they just don't have the maturity where they're not understanding that once you put yourself in that realm of having a spouse and kids, right? You don't there ain't no flex room and people don't have sympathy for you because you have laid down and now you have created a life and a family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you were just by yourself and something and your relationship ain't work out, people kind of are willing to hear that. You know what I mean? And they're kind of willing to work with you. But once you really have a whole family and you complaining, people not willing to hear that. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear that. But a lot of time because we live in the social media age, people are so quick to jump out the window and they don't know how to have emotional control, you know what I mean, about what they say because we live in a society now where everybody just put everything out there for better or for worse. You know what I mean? I can't believe I'm using a marriage vow, but whatever.
People put stuff out. People put stuff out there that they're comfortable with putting out there that they don't believe that they're gonna get any blowback for, right? But this is why people, they get online and say certain stuff, and then stuff happens, and they be looking at people like, "Why are you guys bullying me? Well, I didn't mean for this to happen." Taking stuff down from on live. It's like you shouldn't have even had your business on there in the first place. But again, you can't teach these people nothing. Life is the only thing that will teach them. So this is why I speak the way I speak. I get what you're saying about the truth of the matter is if you want someone else to respect your wants, you have to communicate them and you have to communicate them the right way. If you communicate the right thing the wrong way, you still will get nowhere. See what I'm saying? So I totally get that. However, I know who I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with some sucker ass, know nothing, problematic ass motherfuckers.
Dang, Lola.
I know I'm doing. This is why.
And yes, maturity is a part of it as well. So you're right about that too.
And I know most human beings are mature. That's why when people get to talking about, what women and men need to do, I don't get into those conversations because I know most human beings are that. So what I'm not going to do is just pretend like, no, I don't care about educating your dumb ass. I don't. I know what you are. No, I don't care about.
Why are you trying to educate that old nigga a couple of nights ago, man? What the? Let me
stop.
Let me not do that.
I wasn't educating that dude. I came up there. I came up there.
Much love to the OG. Much love to the OG.
I spoke the truth, and I spoke truth to power. And he didn't want to talk about it. He said everything but what I was saying. And even though people was like, "Well, Lola talking about she got receipts," he didn't want to talk about Lola or those receipts. He just kept on going about every other conversation because he know. And my thing is, I only said that because I hate when people get on social media and want to give advice from a position that they don't hold. I hate that. You need to learn when to be quiet. I don't care if he is an OG to y'all. As old as he is, he should have learned, hey, there's a time to be quiet and there's a time to speak. And when you're speaking, don't speak from no position a position you've never held before. Don't do that because you're hurting more people than you helping. He should know that, but he don't. So I gotta help them. Just like earlier on this stream, I had to help a motherfucker out. Let him know, like, I had to help you learn to be quiet. But I'm sure people will still talk because they think that, you know, it's okay to just run your mouth. Like, yeah.
I can assure you this, folks ain't trying to run their mouth too much when they know that instantly from the sky, as soon as you think it's no Wi-Fi, oh yeah, that signal went through and she caught the message. I mean, period. I mean, you know, you put the bat signal up, then, you know, the dragon will appear.
And just so you know, Smitty,
Just
right?
so you know. I mean, really, to the audience.
Just so you know, just so the audience knows, I don't enjoy having to drag people. I don't. But I would rather tell the truth, right? And most of the time that truth is people need to be quiet. Like last time I had to do this, my whole point is, yo, be the fuck quiet. Last person I had to drag, I'm like, yo, why the fuck is your mouth open? Be the fuck quiet. Like everything is about people mouth being too open. So, you know.
Hey Lola, real quick. You know what? I want you to help a few people that might be new here. I want you to briefly just talk about your time here, how you started. Did you come here starting off beefing? And I want you to just briefly, Soap, are you there? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Bruh, I shit you not. You know what I want to talk about right now? Right now. I want all of us to give our stories on how we came here with good intentions and somehow or another, beef found its way to us. No matter how much we made it clear, that's not our mission. Yeah, I want us to talk about that. How we came here with the sole right intentions, and somehow or another, somebody has to figure out a way to beef with you. And you listen, I'm not talking about no specifics on nothing, just how it unfolds. Now, I'll start off. I've noticed for myself personally, I believe that where all of my beef in these spaces came from, like not even beef, but just like, oh, Smitty, we don't rock with you like that, is because, you know, I choose not to take a side. And you know what I noticed that over here with most of us, like honestly, Lola, you, Soap even included, I don't give a shit. Like, we're not ones who has a specific side on things. And you know what I noticed? These spaces do not allow, or at least tries their best to like gatekeep balance. You know, you're supposed to be all the way one way or all the way the other. And if you have any form of balance in these spaces, they will come for you. So I noticed, like, Lola, everything you talking about, like, remember when you first started off, even on the old live, do you know the main thing that went through my head was like, what the, like me as somebody who actually has had interactions with you online only. I'm saying to myself, how the hell they come to that conclusion? Why are people attacking you? Right? And then I have to sit back and I have to say to myself, you know what? I went through the same thing. So then I dig even deeper. So here was, you know, the rabbit hole, which we're going to cut soon. And I'm going to give it to Soap. I'm going to give it to Soap first. And I'm going to give it to you. And so then I noticed there really is a lot of hurt, pain, whatever it may be, unresolved issues that go on with our people. And I noticed that instead of us to land it, I'm landing it right here. Instead of us just simply trying to figure out, you know what, how do we get here? I believe that we figured out an easy method. It's so much more easier to just point the finger. All you women, all you 304s, modern women, all of you Pookies and Ray Rays. I believe it's more easier to point the finger than to look at ourselves. I digress. My mic is muted. So you got the floor. Lola, you're next. Respect to the family.
Respect to the family. My journey was like I wasn't, and Lola knows, literally all my journey. When I got started, I didn't even want to be on YouTube. I was just supporting my brother M3. Shout out to M3 and the relationships, and I got good at it. And for me getting good at it, I was able to, finesse different things and meet different people. And met my co-founder QB, you know what I mean? God rest her soul. And we just started rocking out, and I developed Intellectual Soapbox. Met Lola as well around the same time, and we just started, getting Black Files going, and then the rest was just history. But the people that have had contention with me, the first time it really happened on a real level, I kind of fell into the trap of responding or even giving light to it. But now if somebody don't like me, or if I even sense that, the block and delete button is very quick on my end. I will follow and block you quickly. You know what I mean? And then I just distance myself, because the people, people I'm not even not wrong with people anyway. You know what I mean? So I'm just somebody who's trying to create some dope content. And that's about it. But that was my journey and my path to even doing this. And in future, as far as my future path is,
so do you believe that majority of content creators are here for the essence and true love of the building of Black people, or do you believe that majority of people here are for their own personal gain? Go.
it depends on the space. Because man, in the Black community, you got a lot of different movements though. You know what I'm saying, bro? You got a lot. So you got the conscious movement, right? And they got their own peoples, right? Whether it's Tariq Nasheed, Umar, 19 Keys. You got the conscious movement, right? Then you got the religious movement. And they got the chocolate. What's going on, girl? They got their way of moving around, right? And they got their way of kind of, moving and grooving, whether it's TD Jakes or whoever else, right? Who's on YouTube and do the religious things. I see a lot of videos for the people that do the religious stuff, right? They got their way. Then you got the relationship aspect, but then that's even split into different spaces and places. So, and yes, in each movement, there are some people who are really about the cause. Then you got people like me and you who are, we are unicorns in this. We talk from different spaces and places, and our topics can be an array of things, you know what I mean? But we do care about our people. And there's some who are like that who don't care. So it just depends on the person, to be honest with you. But I would say, yeah, in certain communities, nah, they don't care about you. I'm letting you know that right now. Especially a lot of the relationship ones, they don't really care about people. They just trying to get their clicks and views up for the most part. You know what I mean? Not saying other communities are innocent of that, because they're not. And I'll just land my plane here. My future is that I definitely want to, in this space, to just be more of a person who directs and creates. And I do not want to be a figurehead of anything. I just want to help people to create and help people to, do dope stuff on social media. And I'll land.
Okay. Much love. Sister Oshun, I don't know, I know how it is sometimes you step off real quick. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, now. All right. The floor's on you, sis. Before I go to question number 5. Yeah, we got 3 more questions. So take your time. The floor is yours. It's your show.
I didn't come into the space into the beef sector, nothing like that. I actually came through. I was just kind of floating around, and I, got picked up by what's his name? You know who he was best. light skin, yo.
Sarnetta.
Yeah, yeah. And then God, that's cat. She was damn. So anyway,
What? She was it
nothing.
Sarnetta?
No, the homeboy that said the one me and you was on the phone with that time. You know what I'm talking
Oh, him?
Exactly.
I thought you was in the conscious space before him.
about. No.
But
I-
notice
No?
how you wait. Notice how you keep
Okay.
saying him.
Yeah, we're
Good.
not gonna say the homie name, but go ahead.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, bro.
I forgot his name for real. Like that's why I said like the homeboy. But I was on his panel and it wasn't. I didn't even know. I just thought people just talk. I didn't know people beef. So I came to understand that. But the reason why I caught beef for real is because a lot of times I come into a space and people are talking about things that are very sensitive to people. And when I give my opinion, my opinion rattles people to the point where they feel the need to make me a target, especially when I talk about religion. As you can see, like my views when it comes to religion is very unorthodox. I don't read books the same way. I don't interpret things the same way. And my common sense approach is something that kind of, is very heretic, to be honest. So I get it. My sheer presence creates, beef. But over time, I've realized that my association with certain people also contributed to certain beefs that I've had. You see what I'm saying? Um, there's people that have literally like told me they were beefing with me just simply because they don't like the fact that sometimes they'll see me hanging with raw beef. Like I've had that. I currently have that. So, it happens. You see what I'm saying? But, like I try not to force the play, but I do understand that, in this space, sometimes some people, oh, this all they got. So, beefing, it's a lifestyle. For me, it's not a lifestyle. I live in real life. That's why, like, sometimes I don't understand when people be doing certain things, because in real life it just doesn't work. And that's where I actually operate at. Like, I get on here, but I've spoken to you all like privately, like in real life. So, that's the only way I know how to move. So that's why things are maybe different for me. But yeah, no, I didn't come into the space on some beef stuff.
Wait, Smitty, you still there? I think Smitty stepped away.
He might have.
Yeah, he definitely stepped away.
I'm right here. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yes. I ran to the restroom. I went to the kitchen. All right, let's get to the next question. Please forgive me. Please forgive me, everybody. All right, let's do it. And I thank everybody for tuning in. The time right now is 11:13 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. And I thank you all for watching. What we got back here? Okay, all right, back. Go ahead. You good. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, now, let's go ahead and get to it. We're going to get to question number 5, and we're almost done. I think we're almost done. It's only 7 questions. So what's the next one? Next question is this. All right, let's get to it. So question number 5 is, how can partners continue to grow individually without growing? I am trying to figure this part out now. This is the part that I'm going to answer myself. And this is the part where I get that opportunity to just kind of like, boom. Question number 5. How can partners continue to grow individually? Oh man, without separating. Okay, cool. Simple. when you come into the relationship, you should already know the trajectory in which both of you are growing into. If you know that you are growing east, this person is growing west, maybe it won't work. The fact is, this question is not so much like a gaslight. Let's look at it more as a riddle. It's more a riddle. It's more like, can you catch it? All right. So, reading it again. 1 second. There we go. Reading it again. How can partners continue to grow individually without outgrowing each other? Boom. So, how do you do that? Simple. Do the same thing that you've always done from first day. The fact is this. A lot of us don't want to pay attention to the fact that if you really think about it, how many of us have had continuously times where, I don't know if you've dated that long, for some reason, you keep going through the same circumstance over and over again. Why is that? Well, exactly what the question says, right? Exactly what the question says. How can partners continue to grow individually without growing, apart? Well, how did you start? What was it that made you so attracted to that man? What was it that made you so attracted to that woman? What was it that absolutely had you in awe? Now, it doesn't mean you do the same thing continuously. The fact is, there was a certain frequency in which you consisted of. You as that man, you as that woman. And while consisting of that frequency, you resonated something. You exuded something. And that was the genuine, organic everything of you. And during that time of exuding the fullness of you, you know what generally happens? We get comfortable. All right, so we get comfortable. And then after we get comfortable, slowly, whether it's on the woman's side or the man's side, slowly we start to hear something called, you don't do what you used to do. I felt that way once upon a time, not now. Most of us will not take time to look into what exactly was it that caused for that to happen. A lot of us won't. Take time at some point and think about, what was that? What took place? What caused it to be what it turned out to be? But when you do so, don't think about it in the sense of the other person who was involved. The entire time that you are asking that question, sit back and only think about your part. Why? Because instead of pointing fingers, it's much, much better to just silently grow. Period. Respect to the family. And with that being said, I swear on life I love us. This is where 1 second. What we got? Let me just listen to something real quick. Okay now. Respect to the family. I appreciate you. I don't know, sliding back through. Thank you so much. This is this. I say this sarcastically. This is the boring part. Yeah, that's right. This is where we get super duper boring. What? God damn it!
Hi to you too, I guess. Jeez.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, godly.
I didn't even say nothing. I was in the back. Waiting, listening to your soliloquy. And your voice, making me relax and stuff. What's wrong with you? Why you gotta act like this? Why treat me this way? Anyway, how are you?
I appreciate you.
Obviously, I'm over it. I'm here talking to you. So what's going on?
Nothing. I'm so glad that my voice is soothing to you.
It is. You need to be honored for your voice. I say that. You should use it.
I should use it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm serious. I'm not even trying to be funny.
I
don't know though. You might not want to do it though. Never mind. My bad. I don't want to assume that.
So again, I'm starting here. So
all right, let's go.
Yeah, there we go. You know what I'm saying? Like, before we remember, you gotta, sit up before you crawl. You gotta crawl before you walk. You gotta walk before you run. You gotta run before you fly. You gotta fly before you soar. It's a process. Respect to the family. What would you like to say to things? Like, would you like for me to pull up the questions? So let me see. All right, so let's go through 1 through 5. Pick a number, and I'll pull that.
I was gonna answer the question, the last one, the one you just finished. The question about who's in your, what that felt like having that person in your life. If you don't mind repeating that one. Because that's what came up. Yeah.
No problem. So that was number 5. No problem.
Yeah. We can go backwards, but yeah, I'm open to doing it that way.
We're going to start off with number 5. We're going to accommodate. All right. So that's what we do for our own, like point blank period. Like anytime our own come up, you get VIP. So how can partners continue to grow individually, right, without growing apart? You got the flow.
I think this is more. Hold on. Let me get my blanket out the camera. Hold on. Okay, so I'll start there.
Take your time.
This goes back to loving who you are and understanding that you don't have to give your personality away because you're in a relationship with someone. And if the person that you're in a relationship is requesting that you change who you are and it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Don't do it. Male, woman, man, it doesn't matter. The other part of that is we don't look at each other as the treasures that we are.
1 second. Everybody, I would like for us to welcome the oh so lovely, the oh so beautiful Sister Melissa, my native. All right, now go,
Melissa.
Go ahead and continue, Melissa. Chocolate. Go ahead.
Why you always want? I know people want to give me different names all the time.
Man, just stop that. Look. It's not. I deal with
people. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. You got me mesmerized tonight. You got the African dashiki, the green is glistening, hair popping. Like, come on, like you looking solid, you looking crispy.
I appreciate.
Ain't nothing wrong with saying it.
I mean, should I not represent myself?
No, I'm happy about it. I like looking at nice looking men. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing wrong with it. That's what I mean. We don't enjoy each other. We don't look at each other as the treasures we are. It's not being a prize. I'm not inside one of them things where you got the claw and you pick me, thank you. Like, that's crazy.
It's okay. Let's stick with the questions. We want to stay.
I did. That's what I said.
So watch this. I'm gonna reset the scene.
Wow.
Hey,
Melissa.
So just imagine we're laying there and we're talking. We don't want to be all high.
What kind of are we? I'd have to take a smoke break before we got here, so I don't know. But that's pretty.
No. It's all good.
Pretty. Now
Go
don't
ahead.
change it. That's beautiful. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
I give you a piece of the personal side of that. Why I feel that way, because
Right.
what I've learned in dating, what I've learned in being in relationships with men, I'm into men, is that when you allow a
I hope
man to
so. I hope
be,
so.
and if it was different, stop messing with me. Cut it out. I'm giving you a pass because you got me mesmerized a little bit. So I'm gonna leave you alone. Anyway,
Much respect.
like I said, I like to be indulgent with my partner,
Mm-hmm.
meaning physically, mentally, materials. If I see something, I want to buy you some. If not, we can lay up in the bed all day. I just look at you, and my friends be like, "Where you at?" I was like, "I'm looking at my man." They be like, "I got you." Like it. These are those little things that keep people together. Those little things that add up to the big thing, which is you have decided to walk this journey with someone. And
Yes.
that is a commitment that I think a lot of people underestimate. And I land right there. Thank you for my times.
Okay. So Melissa, it's on you. If you want to give your piece, it's on you.
And that was from the question, how do couples grow individually and not grow together? I mean, grow. Give me the question. Something about the couples growing together without growing
I got you.
apart.
No,
Thank
no
you.
problem. No problem, beloved. Absolutely. And I thank you so much for popping up. Everybody, make sure that you look out for my sister Melissa. She has dope ass content. She will be on the internet, intellectual soapbox. You'll find her here popping up at times. Just when you see her, show her love. Let's go. All right. Support our own because we are all we got. They may not like you, but I love us. Let's go. How can partners grow? How can partners continue to grow individually without growing apart?
Communication.
Ooh.
It's the first thing that comes to mind. Anything we're doing, if I don't communicate to you at the instant that I feel like what we initially entered into this with. So when I said I do, I had a concept of what I'm saying I agree to, right? I do agree to be in this relationship according to, ba, 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 ba. That's why we're here, right? You the same. But if we are now growing in a direction where now those goals, those agendas, those things that made me say I do, the things that I committed to, are no longer conducive to my happiness, peace, or our togetherness, then I should come to you. I owe you at least that much because the two are becoming one. Even in a relationship that's not a marriage, the goal, even if it's not under the blanket of marriage, before I lay with you and we become one. We have to have that communication because other than that, how do you grow without me? What would make you want to grow without me? You could have just came and talked to me, even if we agreed together that we have to grow apart. But I don't think it should be abrupt. But yeah, communication is the moral of the story.
I want to ask this side question. Chocolate, are you there?
I am.
I want to start with you first. Chocolate, please.
Yeah.
Beloved. All right. Now, I'm telling you now at the time. I love you. I love you, sis. But I'm going to put a timer on you. You got 3 whole minutes. All right. All
You
right.
ain't even gotta say it like that. Like I don't know when to stop talking.
You got 3 whole minutes. Melly will be back. She does that randomly, people. She does that randomly. She'll be back. Sis will be back. So look.
Yes, I'm here. Let's go.
Do you believe possibly in any form of fashion, once you say I love you and you say it in a genuine, like you really love that person, Do you believe that it's any way to stop loving that person at some point? Because
Yes.
from what I know, wait, I'm landing it.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
just
sorry. I thought
no,
that
no,
was the
no,
question.
no, 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 no. You good, you good. I'm just trying to ease it in. I'm just calm and chill. That's all. So to
Pause.
land it, yeah.
Pause.
So do you believe that possibly that there is that dynamic of love can be conditional? Or do you believe truly? Because when we say love is unconditional, but I notice we only use it with God. But when it comes to us, we'll say God is in us and everything else, but we'll hold conditions on our love, which honestly, myself, I believe we should. I do. I have conditions on my love. I have requirements as to why you should be in my life. I will not unconditionally love any damn person. Um, in the sense of me continuously being disrespected, me continuously, let's say, not being heard, let's say the things we hear abused, whatever it may be. Like if I know, because see, the thing is to land it, chocolate, I know my worth and I know you know yours, right?
Yeah.
So to just accept anything is completely hypocritical and contradicting to your actual worth. There she go. My bad, sis. I was talking in the air. I see you now. Let's go. So to land it, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is your view on that as far as should love be unconditional no matter what they do to you? Or should it be conditional? To land it, I believe love is conditional. If you disrespect me enough, I will not love you no more. And that's just the end of it. Rock out. Melly, you next. Melissa. Melissa, you are next. You are next, Melissa.
Um, and I like the way you put that. Thank you. Yeah, love is conditional. I know that love is conditional in my experience of life and what I've observed from other people. Um, People fall in love with others for so many reasons. You've got the fact that how you look or what you've done for them, or you may have been with them in a time of refuge or trauma or whatever the issue may be. Um, but when we get into the place of loving one another and we start saying that to one another, there should always be conditions. The only time and the only person you should ever love like unconditionally is yourself.
I thought you was going to say your child, because I ain't going to lie, believe it or not, I can't front. I can honestly say I love my daughter more than me because she
Of
comes before me. I just,
right.
I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. And a
No,
lot
it's
of
not
people
weird.
disagree.
And
No, no, no. A lot of people disagree with that. You be
no,
surprised.
I don't. I don't. And I'm glad you brought it up. I don't disagree because again, what as to Melissa has said earlier, we want to pretend as these are relationships aren't complex. We know that they are. We know we fall in love with so many things with one person. I know for me, I love it. I love being in love. I'm sickening. I'm a ridiculous romantic. I want him to come home every day and find me laying like a Harlequin romance on the bed. Like I am ridiculous, right? Especially when I feel safe. And I think that is a major condition that we take for granted. You laying down with this person, you living a life with a person, you doing these things with a person. And it is. I think it's just necessary for you to love yourself unconditionally. But if the person you bring into your life does not meet your standards, walk away. They not the only one, and I'm just being 100. I'm not saying they all around the corner, but out of 8 billion people, I think you can find somebody. So there you go. You got it.
I think for me, there are people that I love that I've never even met in person. I just love them because, quite like yourself, I'm in love with love. I am exactly what you just said. Oh my God. Find me mine. Oh my God. Prepare to be sick of we, or him be prepared to be sick of me.
Right.
And I want to be sick of him type.
Exactly. We planning trips. Everybody's so
Baby,
damn
I'm
happy.
with it.
You want to throw up. Like
Look,
that's what I want. I'm so
I
sorry to
don't
interrupt. Go
even
ahead.
care. We can be half day still laid up, cuddled, going nowhere. Like, I don't care. You feel me? We can eat charcuterie. We could make a charcuterie board and eat that, like, and watch YouTube videos and geek and be goofy ass people together. But all of that to say, I feel like for me, there are people that it takes me more to hate than it does for me to just let it be great. You know what I'm saying? If I can love somebody I don't know, if I can love a dog, if I can, because I'm a big Hello Kitty fan, right? My keys, my Crocs, everything, Hello
Aww.
Kitty. Bear, I'm a big Hello Kitty fan, right? So, and even down to my clothes. So like t-shirts, Hello Kitty. The only place I alter that is like I'm also a Puma fan. So I say I'm a Puma because not old enough to be a cougar. So I'm a Puma person. So you either gonna see something Hello Kitty or something Puma on my person if I'm outside. That's just my shit. All of that to say, because it still all relates. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Puma don't make me mad. Hello Kitty don't make me mad. A dude that I'm in love with, I can fall out of love with. But am I going to say, no, I don't love you no more? Nah, that would be a
Then
disservice to me.
no. Then were you really no, ladies? I have to ask this question. We're gonna get to it.
Good. I
Were
ain't even
you
finished, so go ahead.
really? Then were you really genuinely in love with that person? Let me get the whole thing out.
Mhm.
Were you genuinely in love with that person in the first place? The last time I checked, okay. And this is why I say men take breakups much harder than women.
Mhm.
Although we will say women are normally known to be the more emotional. But for some reason, I noticed this pattern, and it's real. Okay. It's not like a shot or nothing. We're speaking as adults, having real adult discussion. Women will have somebody right there after they leave your ass. Men generally, we go through a whole stage of our entire health has gone down before we recover. And I'm just being honest with you. What I noticed, and I said it before, and I still stick with it. Men genuinely do, as simple as we may be, as you all think, as more in tuned emotionally as you all believe you are. I genuinely have seen from proof in real life evidence, not my opinion, not narratives. Men take breakups way harder than women. And the reason why I say that is because when us as men, I genuinely believe that we take love a lot more serious than you all do a lot of times. I know. Listen, hold on, wait. I just want to say, I know I just started a fire. It's okay. I know. And we're going to listen, we're going to turn this forest fire into a campfire, and we're just going to make s'mores, and we're going to have some wieners and stuff, and we're just going to just kick it and cool it, and we're just going to have a good time. All right. But genuinely, I do believe that like y'all are too easy to recover, and if you're too easy to recover, that means you never was really hurt in the first place. If you never was really hurt in the first place, that means you never really loved me as much as I loved you. I digress. My mic is muted. Ladies, you got the floor. Kick it on this.
So let me finish answering the first question while incorporating.
Yes, you got it. No, go for it. I'm gonna wait my turn. Yes, ma'am.
So, unless you've ever been a woman, I feel like that's unfair because you don't know what we're going through. You can only give the perspective according to your personal experience as a man.
Accept
To
it.
say,
Accept it.
to
Accept
say to say that we, and I mean that respectfully, but to say that we recover quick doesn't necessarily mean that we don't hurt as much. It's not a competition on who hurts more or who recovers faster. Sometimes women, just by being women, having menstrual cycles, kids, literally just being a female, causes us to have to do a lot of multitasking without the opportunity to stop, recover, to process. There's a lot, and I'm not saying that men don't. I can only speak from the perspective of my uterus and my life and my
You better
vagina.
speak your mind, girl. You better not give us nothing else, or I'll ban your ass. You better talk that.
So, with that being said, it's not that we're over you or we're less in love. And to my point, it's not that I wasn't completely in love with you. I just understand that in order for me to move on, I have to, um, for lack of a better term, throw you up and out because by nature, I want to nurture you, even if it hurts me by nature. So I don't think it's that. I think the perception that you guys don't hurt is something that we think. I mean, the same way that you're saying to me, I think we also think that about you as men. We feel like we look up, you got the next shorty, girls giggling in your inbox, the next da 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 da. It's very rare that you see a man go through a breakup because they're trying to keep their ego in check. So I just holler at the next bitch. Right? I go back to, okay, well then, if that's the case, did you really ever love me? So yeah, I'll land there.
It's on you, Chalk. It's on you, beloved. Chocolate,
Child,
you there?
I'm here. Yes, I'm here, honey.
Yeah.
I'm here. I was chewing. Hold on. Okay. Cause I gotta get ready. You tripping out here.
God have mercy upon us.
Wait a minute. I'm redoing my hair, but I just really want y'all to see my face. So hold on. Just think of it as a big band too, not okay. No, right. We Wakanda right now. Yes, you know what? I'm gonna concede on one level. Men do take it the hardest. That is why women usually are in danger when a breakup occurs.
Agreed.
We have to basically deal with a mine, or you're stepping on mine, so to speak, stepping on tiptoes because you know the relationship has to end. A lot of times when relationships end,
Hold on, wait. Does it have to end, or is it that you just can't take going through what it takes to
are you
see?
asking me personally?
Yes. Does it have
Okay.
to end, or do you just not want to put the work in?
No, that's not it. There is a word that I love. And at first I didn't understand how to put it into my life, but now I got it. It's called delegation. Right? So when you running a business, delegation, you delegate it to the right people. You look at their resumes, you check them out, you meet them a couple times. Same thing within a relationship. You're interviewing a couple times. They seem to be the best person on the list at the time. And that's what you go with. That's human nature. Of course, we are taught to look at the best. That's why it's always, ooh, I want this now because it's better than the last thing. And we also do that with our human interactions. So when you say women have a tendency to get over it better or faster, no, I will tell you this. I felt as though I loved the person I was with. What I learned was they never loved me. Because if you can't love yourself, which I found that a lot of these men did not love themselves, as the relationship got started to get nasty and people start saying things and they you know they wouldn't have said it before, but now you thought it, but now you like, oh, okay, I was right, your ass is crazy. And
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is. You're right. It's fact.
I find it interesting because when we get out here and have these conversations, and like I said, for me personally, it has to end. If the work is there and you don't want to put it in, because that's the part. Does he want to put the work in? I'm down to put the work in. I've done it.
No.
Yes. I have traveled. No, listen. No, because you want to make it seem as though men still are the victims when it comes to relationships in some kind of way. I told you in the beginning, I do concede that men do take it harder. That's why there is a higher rate of danger, because instead of men being able to communicate, it becomes dangerous. They get angry with you. They have a whole channel about true crime. These stories aren't over and over. These ain't the same stories. People are doing this every day to their spouses, to their loved ones, to the people, because they can't communicate. And for me, if I've already done the work and you're showing me that you don't want to do the work.
2 minutes, Chocolate, just so we can keep the conversation going. I got more questions. That's all. 2 minutes. That's all.
Bruh, anyway, like I said, I feel like it's hard for both sides if you don't have any coping skills to be able to handle a breakup or be in a relationship, period. It is a lot to take on another human being's emotions. I don't know why we try to downplay that. It's not easy. Because if it was easy, we would all have our mates and we would all be with who we wanted to be with. It's not. Because again, we have people who feel like they need to lie. You have people who feel like they need to front. You have people who are afraid. You have people who have issues. They have maybe penis issues. Maybe they don't know how to break it down. Maybe they got a secret wife or husband somewhere. We don't know. But when you with somebody, this is probably the most, outside of laying down with a person, the invisible vulnerability that's given. I'm trusting you with my life. I'm sleeping with you. I'm eating with you. I'm having your kids, if that's the case. Or we buying a dog together, or whatever it may be. We share a space. We move in together. And I guess what's discounted, especially when you talk about this, and especially with breakups, I need that perspective to be added that a lot of women have been unalive because they're breaking up with someone. And that's a higher rate than men. So why is that the case? Because again, no coping skills, an inability to understand rejection, an inability to deal with your emotions, but they call us emotional. And I'm speaking about men in the perspective of a woman who has dated men more than one, been around men all my life, had a daddy, uncle, granddaddies.
No, wrong.
And I land there.
Thank you. No. Just so we can share the floor. That's all. Because I want Melissa to get in here too.
I'm not mad.
I have this question, Melissa. Are you ready?
Roger.
Okay. We're going to take a quick commercial break. This commercial break is 49 seconds. I'm going to ask this question first. As soon as it comes back, answer the question. The question is this. Chalk, you're right after her. What are the top 2 qualities for you personally as a woman that makes you feel safe with a man that he must possess? The 2 top qualities that will make you feel safe in his presence. We will be right back after these quick commercial messages. I digress. My mic is muted. This commercial break is brought to you by We Are the Lamps. Welcome to the Lighthouse.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
All right now. Flows on you, beloved.
Okay.
What are the two top qualities that will make you feel comfortable and safe with the man? Right.
Top quality communication, because I can find out everything I need to know from there. Second would be emotional stability, because I need for you not to be offended when I'm communicating to you whatever there is that we need. And I feel like with those two, we can build and pretty much rock out with anything.
Well, I guess I've been told that I've been summoned again. Okay, hello.
My bad. I'm gonna have to say something before I mute. My bad.
Please do it. Do it. Did you say it? Did you need to say something?
No, ma'am. And I land there.
Oh, all right. Okay. Hey, I'm a flunk this test. What was the question again? What did he ask us? Okay. Can you give me a clue? Because I remember I can.
My bad.
I can
No,
hear
no,
it.
no. I got you.
Okay.
It's just that
It
I
went
was
away.
on mute. Yeah, no. It's it's just that I was on mute. So the question is this: you being around a man, what are the
Mhm.
top qualities? Let's
Oh,
just
that's
say
it. There it is. There it is. There it is.
that will make you
Oh,
feel
my bad.
safe. What?
His
No,
humor. Oh, wait.
wait.
Oh,
Shot. Remember, there's an audience, okay? And
why you always giving me a
so
hard time, sweetie?
I'm not. No, no,
Why you
no.
always? Yes, you do. You don't
But
do
I
that
want to
nobody
give
else,
the
man.
audience. But I want to give the audience an easy time. I just want to complete the complete the question, and then I'm going to drop. What are the top two qualities for you personally as a woman that makes you feel safe with that man and his characteristics? You have the floor, beloved. Right.
He has to have a good sense of humor. If a man can laugh at himself, we'll be all right. That's one. And number two, he can fight. There's my answer.
Really?
Yes. You said the two things that make me feel safe. And I answered you like, see what I mean, Melissa? I do it.
Yo, that's the realest shit, though.
I mean, like, I thought that's what he wanted me to do. Like,
Timepiece Frosty, that's why you only get one chance to cross me.
Try it again.
I don't want to try again. That was my answer. If a man can laugh at himself, then I can be comfortable with him, because I'm gonna tell you something. A man that take himself so seriously, you too wound up type for me.
God have mercy upon us.
I'm a free spirit, yo. Like, I don't know what that means. I'm just not on the bull. Like, that's it. You funny? Can you take a joke? Great. And if you can fight, can you fight?
chocolate.
You fight. I like it if you could fight.
Hey, Chop. Hey, Chop.
What?
You know the one thing you speak of often.
See, he always messing with me. Go ahead. What? Yes, sir. What I say?
The one thing
He do. They do. They do this to me all the time. Go ahead.
So you know the one thing you speak of, right?
What do I speak of, sir?
You speak of protection a lot.
I do.
Yeah, you do. For
Yeah.
the community, right?
Mhm.
You speak of it
Mhm.
for the children. You
Yep.
speak of it for the sisters, especially. And you know something as a dad of one daughter, and I have
Mhm.
way more women in my family than men. There are a lot of times what you say it resonates.
Yeah.
So
I
again,
hope
I want
so.
to ask you this question,
Oh,
right?
okay. Mhm.
I want
Why
you to
can't you believe my answer though? That's where
because
I'm trying to go.
I want you to think about longevity.
What about longevity?
All right.
Me,
So
I am my own protector. That
okay,
that is, I think, what you. Here's, I'll give you that context so that you understand why I can't give you anything else. I have always been my own protector. There
okay,
hasn't been
so
anyone
so let me
that.
ask you this. Wait. Okay, so
I-
hold on. So watch this. That is a
wow.
beautiful response. No, honestly, it's
Okay.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So if I may, my sister, let me ask you this.
Sure.
Um, so it's gonna be a two-part, please, just so the flow of the conversation can go. Part one.
Yeah.
Did you ever at any point want that, like, house, picket fence, and family?
Hell
Now, wait,
yeah.
just please.
That's not a
And
part of what your
hold on.
requirements were.
Just,
What? Okay. I'm not saying anything except for me not
all
saying
right.
it.
So,
What do you want from me, man? You starting to make me feel like DMX. What do you want? Go ahead and finish your question. I'm sorry. I just had to get it out. You was making me feel real tense. Go.
so at whatever point that you did want that, I want you to tell me what caused you to shift your gears. Like what? So you said yes at one point in time you did actually want to be the housewife or what have you. Or, no, the wife with a family, dog, all of that. What took place in your life that made you shift that thought? You have the floor.
I can I just tell you this is going to be a very short answer with all due respect. What changed my mind was the men who decided to choose me. When I allowed men to choose me, as this is set up in society, they were all disappointing because they never lived up to the things they said. I didn't ask them for anything. Yes, I wanted that. I wanted that so badly. I wanted to be married. I wanted to have babies. I wanted to be on a farm out in the boonies somewhere raising my little knothead kids on with horses and cows and my man and just grow and watch life and make babies and grandbabies and have Christmas and Thanksgiving. That is truly what I wanted. I actually was in the process of moving. I was gonna move to South Carolina. Cause I was like, I'm gonna find me a big old husband. Let's go make some big old football players. So yeah, I did want it. But over and over again, these men swear that they wanted that too, and they didn't. And I'm gonna be honest, I got tired of the games. If you feel like you have to game me to get between my legs or get up in my brain for free, like then take that down the street. I just don't have the patience. So yeah, that's why my answers are simple and straight to the point when it comes to that. I know what I want when it comes to a man. I know what I want in my life and I know how I want to feel. My question, not necessarily to you, Smitty, but to anybody. When you with somebody, the question should be too, what does that person make you feel when you with them? Do they make you feel like that you being next to them is the treasure that it is? because I'm sick of hearing the word prize. So I'm gonna say treasure that it is between us both. It take a lot for people to stay together for long periods of time. Oh yeah, I wanted that. I want to grow old and be that cool grandma. But again, if you can't find a suitable partner and you doing all the things they telling you supposed to do in your culture, because these were black men, they weren't white, they weren't Mexican, these were men of my culture, so they were supposed to understand what the protocol was supposed to be. That's what I was raised to believe. That men knew what they needed to do, and men taught they boys how to be men. But it's not true. Being a man is not this, oh, I'm just a protector and a provider and a, what's the other one? I don't know. You're a human being. Why can't we enjoy each other? And
Okay, so
that doesn't mean lolly delusional happy go lucky. So please don't do that. And I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying period. I'm just saying, why does it have to be so contentious? And I think that's another reason too that changed my mind, because black men are requiring all of these things and calling it traditional, but it's not. It's servitude. Because you're not talking about me emotionally. You're not talking about if I'm going to be a good mother or a wife or a good girlfriend. You talking about me submitting to you and washing dishes and making a sandwich. I land there. Thank you.
you landed there. You good? Okay. All right. Melly, are you there? Is she there? Melissa.
Yes.
All right. Hold on. Wait. Listen. All right. So for the record, all right. For the record, I promise you. All right. This is what I want to do. Midday tomorrow, I'm gonna call you, and I want me and you to speak so you can understand exactly what's taking place. It's the show. We're live. Just let me give you a call tomorrow. So we're gonna go ahead and get to the next question. Trust me, I promise you, you'll get it. You'll get it. It's not hard. All right, so we're gonna go to the next question. Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
This question right here, which I'm going to go back on to see where you are. So did you respond to question number 4?
I did first.
Good. And you responded to question number 2, correct?
Sure.
No, you did. You did.
Okay.
No, did you? I'm asking.
Remember, this is what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So let me go ahead and go to a number that I haven't mentioned. I'm going to start with you. Chuck, got it right after her, beloved. How do couples keep, I repeat, how do couples keep us, hold on, phone too far away, I apologize. How do couples keep the spark alive when life gets too busy or stressful? That's right. You're in a household, you have your family, the whole nine. You're trying to maintain the kids, your work life, your social life, your personal life, but you also got a man via a husband, hubby. How do you balance all of that as women? You got the floor first, Melissa. Chalk, you're right after her.
I think that if my significant other brings me peace and focus and stability, that security, I'm going to make time. You know what I mean? Because that's my space. Again, that goof ass love type thing. And I feel the same with him. It's always going to be, well, it's not always, because we're not always going to get along. But I mean in the context of keeping with that, keeping with that thought, where we should always want to make time for each other, because in each other, once I have said, yes, I'm going to make time for this relationship, period, I'm hoping that while I'm making time for this relationship, it's not adding a burden or stress. So it should be something that becomes something I'm anxious to get to. I'm anxious to keep a spark going. I'm anxious to get to my man. I'm anxious to go to bed together. We'll make time for that, because that's your space. That's your boo. I'll end there, I guess.
Chuck, you got
I'm here. I'm here.
You got it. You got it. I'm out.
Okay, hold on, so I can make a long answer, because he's not gonna like it if I make it short.
Take all the time. No, actually, no.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
You know the history with us, girl. Stop.
Listen,
All right,
let me just
say
say
what you gotta say. Say what you gotta say.
Wait, now you done made me forget the question. What was the question again?
Oh my gosh.
No. Melissa, you tell me. Don't read it. She give me the gist. She know what I'm talking about. What?
How you keep the spark while you multitasking?
Right. So again, I mean, for real, like, it start with communication. What do you want? You gotta know what you want. Each person gotta know what they want. Then, now here we decide: do these people have the emotional development to compromise in a healthy way? Majority of the time, no. Because if they did, we wouldn't have the shows, and we wouldn't have all these people on TV all the time on the news being crazy, because people don't know how to cope. Then we say go to therapy, and they say, "Oh, I don't need therapy. You need something. Jesus ain't working."
Wait, you think I didn't think of that? Of course I thought of that.
Yeah. You don't want us to tell you. You don't want your boys to tell you, because you a man and you can eat everything. You can eat glass. You can rule the world because you're a man. Come on, man.
All right. Hold on.
You ain't gotta calm me down. I'm just teasing. What
No,
I'm talking about is,
I'm just saying, who have you heard say they can eat glass?
men.
Stop it, woman.
Men have eaten glass. You want to watch that on TV? I like watching Russian TV.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, listen. Are they? Oh, wait.
They slap each other.
No.
You ever watch that?
Wait.
Hey, yo, power slap is really
Yes, I love it.
I just have a question, ladies.
Sure.
Are they us? In majority.
Us
yeah,
what?
I'll holler at you.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
That's my life. Anyway. I think, again, and I'll stand by it, and this is only, and even in my own relationships, I've tested this out. I know how I can be. I can be brash. I can be aggressive. I can be hard worker. I can be a workaholic. I can throw myself into something, work hard. If I tell you I love you, I love you. That's it. Nothing else matters in the world. I love you. But only to those who was deserving. And see, I wasted it on those who were not, because they pretended to be someone else. Because again, these men don't know how to love because they've not been loved. It shouldn't be this hard. It really shouldn't. And on top of that too, when you say I want to be a friend, I want a friend as well as a part of this relationship. Oh, we can't be friends. I can't be vulnerable with you. I can't tell you nothing. So how am I supposed to know the plight of the black man if he don't even want to tell me what's on his mind? There's another reason why I stopped dating.
Mm-hmm.
I am not your therapist.
Wait. Hold on. Chalk.
Why
While
y'all
you
call me
say
like
certain
this?
things, just allow me, Chalk. While you're saying certain things, beloved, if it's all right, allow for me, okay, to just simply ask certain questions.
Of course you
So when
can.
you say, okay, so when you say that men don't really want to communicate, is it that you all the sisters in Melly, you can get in there right behind this too, behind her sis, okay? Is it that we don't want to communicate, or is it that most men have recognized that time and time again, when we thought that we could be safe, we found out it was a trap. We found out that it was thrown back in our face. We found out that we was told to be vulnerable. Oh yeah, just open up. You can do anything, you can say anything. But the very moment that something goes wrong, oh, that's going to be the number one bullet that's clipped into that mag. I digress. My mic is muted. You got the floor.
May I right quick?
Oh, hold on. No. I want to make sure I say it. Melissa, you're next.
Thank you.
Go
So
ahead, sis.
I feel like again that's narrow minded because the same way you don't want me to compare you to no other nigga because you your own is the same way I don't want you to compare me to what happened to you in times past and then use that as an excuse for why you can't open your mouth and tell me something. If I'm here and I say I'm here to show you something different, to treat you different, to love you different, I'm giving you my best interpretation of what I think that is, but I can't do it by myself. If you don't open your mouth, and like she said, if you don't open your mouth and feel comfortable with telling me what's on your heart, what's on your mind, then yeah, how do I know the plight? How do I know what the end plan is? How do I know how to support you as a Black woman? How do I know what your vulnerabilities are so maybe I can be strong for you in those areas to the best of my ability? But if you don't ever open your mouth, and the only time I know that there's something going on is when you're trying to knock me between the washer and the dryer, or when you're cussing me out, or when I haven't been intimate with you in days and days and days and days, and we're not doing that. So like I think it's narrow to say to put that on one foot. That's equal.
Hey, I'm
I
sorry.
digress.
No. I want to apologize. Hey, you guys, ladies, try to help me sometimes because I swear on life, it's hard to keep up with everything. I had no clue the banner kept saying what it said. Yeah, help me out. Yeah. Sometimes help me out. I apologize,
What's
y'all.
it say? I can't even see it. I just know it's moving.
Yeah. Anybody in the chat, whatever. No. It's people listening that know. Help me out. I had no clue. Bow. There we go. Please continue. I apologize. Like it's hard to keep up with everything all by myself sometimes.
Can't hear you, Chocolate.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Can't
Were
hear
you
you.
finished, love?
Here
Can
you
you
are.
hear me
Yes,
now?
ma'am.
All right. Like I said, we've established it. I'm not gonna repeat what what she just said because I mean, and she's put it beautifully. Now we need to see what it looks like. Let's do exercises. Let's show what this looks like. It's not just about being polite on a panel. This is why I'm always yelling representation. This has nothing to do with excuses. I give it to you this way. The military is set up to do several things, right? It's complex. It's got different things, secret things right out there. But when you join, everybody goes through the same thing. Everybody is stripped down to be what they want you to be. And then they rebuild you. Well, that might work for the army, but you can't bring that into a relationship. That attitude has not helped at all. Men need comfort just like we do. I want to make him feel safe, just like I want him to make me feel safe. So now that we know the buzzwords, communications, now we need to dive deeper and find out, how do we do this? What exercises can we give? Can we come up with? Can we show? I mean, it's silly, but shit, act it out. Do it like the remember them bad work videos when you be getting hired, or they show you the harassment video and it be like Ted and the girl be sitting there and he be like touching her shoulder. You know what I'm talking about, Melissa.
Nancy, I'm going to just
Nancy.
communicate to you.
Yeah. Hi. Right. You be like, what? Nancy, you nasty. I would get in trouble at work. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, we need to see representation of it. I don't care how old you are. Ain't nothing wrong with seeing what that looks like. That's how you learn. What we seem to forget is that we didn't get that. We are imitating someone else's dreams. We're imitating someone else's setup. It's not ours. So let's break it down to just the human factor. Hey, if you marry a man that want to have a big wedding, okay. But if you want to marry a man that ain't got no money, okay. But marriage is just that last step of commitment to show I'm committed to this person. But that doesn't mean that your relationship is instantly gonna be better. It's just like saying having kids gonna make your relationship better. No, what does the therapist say? It all comes back down to your ass. What do you want in life? Y'all holler peace. Life isn't peaceful. It's chaotic. You get moments of peace. But that again is within you. If you looking for quiet, then you need to move somewhere where it's quiet. Like that's you need to get a man cave. You need to go outside. Like you don't want to hear no kids or noise. That's fine. Because I don't like silence in my home. I want noise, music, TV, something going on. But I'm going to land here because I mean, again,
Okay.
the type of men that I've given opportunities to, because that's what it feels like. Don't check them. Let them choose you.
So let's get to the last question so we can all get on up out of here because it's on the East Coast time. And honestly, I want to go enjoy my life and get up out of here. I think I've done my service and duty to the people, and I think all of us have. We've given the people enough of us. All right. So let's go ahead and get to this last question here. Have you all answered question? Hold on, number 5 is 7. Have you answered 5?
Yes, we did 5.
Did you do 2? You did 2. You did 1. All right, Beth. So I have one last question, which is going to be the surprise question. One more. Are you ladies ready?
Yes, sir. We here. Go ahead. You got him.
Okay, so what I'm going to do on this one, just to have a little fun. So I have a number in my head between 1 and 25. Melissa, you pick first. And then of course, Chocolate by default, you go second. What's the number in my head to see who goes first?
12.
12. Okay. What you got? Choc?
8.
God dang it. The number was 7. Yeah, she won. She won. So Chalk goes first. Melly, you go second. All right. So this right here, the question revolves around.
That's all I'm gonna say. Like, bruh.
Wait, what happened?
I love us. I absolutely love us. I I appreciate y'all. I know I'm dead ass. I don't outright just like laugh often. And man, it's such a beautiful feeling, man, when I get that good from the gut belly. Not just the fake. Yeah, I don't like that. No,
Yes.
it feel
Yes.
real good when you get that good ass laugh and real.
Yes.
Gosh, it feels good, and I think we really underestimate that. And I just want to display joy. I
I
just
love it. Yes, that's what I mean. I'm passing joy all over the world. Mm,
so
mm. Let's go. What is okay? Is this the
so the
question?
question, yeah, no, yes. I'm getting ready to read it right now. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. All right, hold on. Let me fix my camera. All right. So the question reads, all right, women getting over pain. Now, I believe, I know how me as a man, what I do to get over pain. I'm talking about any pain besides physical, all of the inner pain, breakups, loss of job, anything, eviction, you name it, pain, life experience. All right. So let's get to it. Chop.
Okay, I'm here.
What
Whew.
was the turning point when you realized you had the strength to heal and move forward from your pain? That's the first one. It's only a two-part. It's the same question, just divided.
You
You
good?
first, Melly, you after.
The test
Mel,
for me was when my mother passed away. Um, I was done, to be honest. She was my best friend. You know, we grew up together. She had me young. She was married, but a single mother. You know, I'd been through a lot with her. I almost lost her, a few times in my life before, 2021. And I didn't think I can make it back. It was the a culmination of all the things that had happened leading up to that very moment. And it if it wasn't for my brother and my sister, I don't know. I don't think I would have been here. And I thank them for that. Um I They gave me an opportunity to pull myself back up with their support. They gave me what I needed to at least get started again and wanting to be a part of my life. And I take it very seriously. And that's why I always say if the bombs don't go off and the sirens ain't going, I got another chance. So that's why I said I would rather wait and have a wonderful relationship than to be miserable forever. So yeah, I land right there.
Okay. Melissa.
I would echo and say the same. It was watching my mother bear pain and knowing that the entire time, all she was trying to do was alleviate it, literally by any means necessary, at sacrifice, at struggle, at disrespect, at other people's hands, at abuse, assault, uh, just all of that. And me knowing that what she was forged from is the only means that she knew how to put me together and forge me. So whether that was the intentions for me to be soft and feminine or uh, uh, gone through the refiner's fire for real, that's all I know. And it's because it was all she knew until I knew better or until I discovered that maybe there was a different perspective, which is why I absolutely love learning and communicating with people, because there's only what I know until I know something different. And I'm always willing to find out what the next level to unlocking change and the next level to unlocking healing and forgiveness. I don't want to feel tight and sore and beat down and bruised and scarred and still and what was. I don't, that weighs heavy. Like, I'm not, please, I don't want it. I'm good. I'll land there.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to switch it over. I don't know, Chalk, are you there? This is absolutely the last, because it's a two-part
I'm
question.
here.
Yeah, yeah. And after
I
this,
apologize. I hadn't eaten all
you know
day.
what? You know what? You know what? Just to make it very clear, with this last part, give your answer, I guess, like mix up your answer with your final thoughts. And let's just mix it all in one so we can get out of here and go lay down, go to sleep, and do what we do. So, all right, on this one right here, this is the final part. We're going to get up out of here. I thank everybody for tuning in. The time right now is 12:25 a.m. East Coast Standard Time. And I thank you all for watching. Much respect to the family. All right, good morning. Yeah, good night to you, sir. This is it right here. We getting up out of here. Anyway, salute to Stan. You ready, Chop?
I'm ready. Okay, last question. Here we go.
Last part of the second one. Yeah.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
If you could sit with someone who's walking in the same painful path you once did, what would you tell them about finding the strength to move forward? That's it. Let's go.
Well, wow. Okay. I'm gonna tell you what I told myself. I'm lucky and I'm blessed because I have people who take interest in my life, who have been there. And if you have those people, utilize them. Don't think that you have to carry it alone, because you don't. And if you don't have anyone, the internet offers so many different things now. You can call, you can text, just to get assistance and help to get through the pain, because it really is about sometimes talking it through, and sometimes you end up talking it through by yourself. You end up writing it down. I say this, and I'm gonna say it is hard to look inward. I get it, but think about this. No matter what happens to you on the outside, who are you when you lay your head down? Can you rest because you're being who you are? I think that's what this life should be about. There's too many things to enjoy naturally for us to stay so wound up over control of things because we don't have a clue. Instead of just enjoying it, we want to control it. And we want to control each other. And that's why I said I would rather wait and then have that moment of true understanding between two adults, to be looked at and adored. And I do the same for the person. And that's it. Like, and grow together, because again, we should be growing together. You don't instantly evolve because you get married. You grow to these places. You want to share your whole life with this person. You want to get up every day with this person. But we tell people that that doesn't exist, and it does. More than we know. And I don't care. I'm gonna be happy and jolly and enjoy life and make stupid bad jokes and not take this stuff so seriously. Because again, nothing's promised or guaranteed. only control how we handle each other. That we can all change. So I'll end there. Thank you.
Chocolate, you ain't gonna have to wait a long time. Get out of here. You was muted, Chocolate.
Yeah, no, my bad.
I've been single for 10 years.
Get the hell out of here.
Okay. None
of us believe that, Chocolate.
So hold on. So Melly.
Don't speak for me.
Shit, god dang it. Oh my gosh. So talk to Melissa from now on because I keep messing it. God dang it. Melissa, I am going to talk to you tomorrow. You'll trust me, you'll get it. You'll get it tomorrow. I'm so sorry. It's all gonna sink in. So how about this? We're gonna divert the energy because I like to keep things peaceful. You know, you gotta know how to pivot. So,
yo, Steady, if you want me to clip like some of the stuff that you want to start
bro,
clipping,
you can do whatever you, bro. Do whatever you want. You already know, bro.
Yes, sir.
You have green light. Let me say that green light.
Yeah.
So, what's your take on that? Let me ask the question again, okay? All right, and then we're gonna, we're gonna redirect the energy. All right, so dealing with pain, right, and the things that you've gone through in your life. So this is the question: if you could sit down with someone who walks in the same painful path that you once did, what would you tell them about finding strength to move forward? Melissa. Melissa.
Present.
Go ahead. There she is. You're next after Soap. Go ahead.
I appreciate it.
Respect.
I would tell them it only gets better. Not to be cliche, but it only gets better. It only gets better. You know what I mean? It only gets better. And you have to some doors have to close painfully for a brand new door to open. And Smitty, you know about that very well, brother. You know what I mean? We all know about that very well. So yeah, sometimes some things gotta close, and me and you have had deep talks about that. In order for something brand new to open, that's a huge blessing. A bigger blessing than you can ever imagine. You know what I mean? And I'll end there.
Melissa.
I would say to them to remember that everything you need is already in you. I mean, whether it's small, minute things that you remember, pieces of information that you've picked up before, a number to a hotline that maybe you'd seen, people that you can remember that you can go to, a prayer if that's your thing. These hands, if you need your ass booked. Everything you need is in you. I'll land there.
Yeah, no. You missed the part, hands and feet. But yes, absolutely.
I'm a pillowcase and pad lock tight.
I mean, because we will stomp you out, but you know that's
Socks.
under
Socks and soap.
That's under
soap in the socks.
Soap works better than the padlocks?
No, yeah, because you ain't leaving no marks.
Okay, so hold on 1 second. Are we? I'm just curious. Are we incarcerated? What's going on here? I thought we were free people. I want to hear
We
that.
are. Oh yeah, we are free. And if somebody get crazy, I'm gonna freely whoop your ass. Like I don't know.
Okay, so hold on. Okay, so why?
$3.99.
Okay, Chalk. Before we leave, this is for you. Before I play my outro, I want you to woosah. This is just for you. Now what's going to happen is this. Watch how it instantly flips. I have to. So
I'm here, bro. Are we hanging out after?
oh yeah, no. We can do that. No. I got you. As long as
Yay.
As long as I can play my song that's 2 minutes and 33 seconds.
Yeah, do you? I'm getting some
Yeah.
All right, bet. All right, bet.
Disappointed.
Oh yay, music.
All right, bet. So I love where I come from, and I'm pretty sure Melissa's gonna love this as well. But anyway, I love us, but I just gotta make sure that I keep it clear. We don't play no games where we from, and I love it. We chill. So we're gonna get out of here. I appreciate everybody for being here. I digress. My mic is music. I said I digress. My mic is music. It is. My mic is music, and my mic is muted. So that actually might be the new term. My mic is music. I love that. I love that. I think I just came up.
But he's not a poet, y'all. He's not a poet. Y'all heard that, but he's not a
poet. Shout out, definitely. Shout out to the sister Lola. That's family. Make sure you go subscribe to Miss Oshun Possible, the Love Experience, and just show love and support to our own. If they don't like us, you know I love us. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. This right here is for where I'm from, because we get it in.
Southside born and raised, cook good, Mac Miller, whole block on glow. You only get shining from with you. Now I done came up in the goose and clapping for the presence of shit I'm producing. Easy with the evil, the shit and get ruthless. I don't trust a nigga, no time for a Judas. They set it up, niggas coming with it up. Kill you for the money, but I never give a motherfuck. 40 give them tummy tucks, 30 bullets in the gun. 100 shots at me, but I'm dope with the armor truck. If you talking about it whenever, however you want it, but we ain't gon' let up. Hit you with the let off a hose from the nigga by read them, and we bring it back to the cheddar like
Taylor, no risk, leave for one cheese and dough like a cheesy pizza. Uptown with the heater seekers, they'll shake your hand and say nice to meet you. Then they leave you, sneak like, tell me would it be like? Cameras under them street lights, gunfire, no fist fight. Might live wrong, but I'm so right, freestyle and songwrite. Oh yeah, and I'm about that life. Oh yeah, and I'm about that life. Oh yeah, and I'm about that life. Uptown, tell me would it be like?
Our time now, yeah, it's our time now, yeah. Coming from the struggle on the grind now, yeah. We know they gon' hate us all the time now, yeah. DC, we the greatest.
About that madness, that shooters or that hobo. This one here for PT. Shout out to Moco. Rest in peace to Loso. You beat me, oh no. I throw haymakers like Kodo. My feet fast like Flojo. Slow it down, bounce beat. Speed it up, go. This was from my hood. Rest in peace to my nigga Solo. I'm a rude boy with no dreadlocks. With my waist on point like headshots. Better duck when you see that red dot. That 40 will make us dead rock.
I'm pretty sure that you heard of me. And if you did, now you heard of me. Probably smash a broad on the nerve of me. MFOE is engraved in me. Money, family, over everything. Been getting guap since a young job. Supposed to go and smack out the hot shot. I'm a peach kind of baller, peach kind of brawler, peach kind of everything. Fuck what you talking. King of drama, that before the sun. I'm trying to fight your boy, now the Baptist dogs. Champion Lamont, young rock and launch. Cross me wrong on my goals and hunch. And that's if you're lucky, but